started off the session fighting some giant wasps. A bunch of white Anglo-Saxon Protestants flew out of the sky and attacked you.
They're the worst enemy of D&D.
Yeah, and after you fought them all off with your less conservative lifestyle, I don't want to even say liberal lifestyle. I just, you know how those wasps are. They don't even get along with the other conservatives. So after you fought them off, you moved back onto the dungeon, where the last thing to do was to climb down that chain ladder. And yeah, you got into the dungeon, or the dragon's lair, and quite the epic battle there. But unfortunately, dragons do not have the ability to heal, and she really, as much as she wanted to do something while you were all healing, like, she had to wait for that fairy fire to go away. Eventually you did drive her out. She did escape through an underwater tunnel, but you took all of her treasure. You took all of the treasure that you could find from this dungeon. So what you know of dragons, it seems unlikely that this dragon will come back. They look for places where they can get treasure, and if she probably will come back to see if you took her hoard. But once she sees that that's gone, that dragon's going to move on to greener pastures most likely. But then you went back to town. That was a 3-day trip. And when you got there, the town threw a parade for you, because they had determined that the commander of the militia, who was a half-orc, was on the take from those orcs that you had originally killed at the top layer. And they kind of attributed their determination to stop being as racially harmonious to you all, opening their eyes to the dangers of letting others in. And so they killed everyone, man, woman, child, who was not of the proper, quote-unquote, race. And they gave you all of their money. They took it all up, and they gave you a manor house, and they declared that you are dukes and duchesses of their town now. So we talked about you all having a passive income from this, as well as kind of a home base. I do know that there was some discussion between a player who's not here and at least one other player about not liking how that went. So, Zerky, were you all doing anything about that before you made the month-long trek back to First Landing?
Well, so one little thing I wanted to ask you. We each have a bag that we got from the Adventurers Guild that has our little money exchange thing in it, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's leave one of those bags with whoever is administrating our thing, so that our tilth or whatever goes into that, so we don't have to trek back every 6 months to collect our money. Is that possible?
Yeah. If you trust somebody to have access to your bank account, because keep in mind they can just reach in and take your money.
Well, that's okay. So, like, Erky can have a bank account of 0 that only that money goes into, and then like Zerky's bag can be the his own money.
How are you getting your money then? If it's because now that I thought about that, you're right. It's Zerky's bag and Zerky's account. So
Zerky or Erky, either one of them. Erky would probably be the easiest one. He dumps all his money out, so his account is at 0.
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We can't get it out because the bag is in the other place.
Now. Exactly. I just had that thought.
Can the guild? So we can't access our bank account like a bank where you go and just talk to the person over the counter.
No, it's magical in the sense that it knows what change to give you. So that conversion happens, but no, it's not connected to other people's.
Okay, all right, no big deal. We just once a year we'll
That
have
was-
to trek back.
No, it was smart. I was very much so ready to do that until I kind of gave it a thought.
So what Erky will eventually do, and this is above board, he hasn't role played it yet, but Erky doesn't really like what happened, so he will probably give most of his money away to the local chapel, and probably create an orphanage, or he'll do something like that. Zerky, on the other hand, is like, fuck them, it's mine.
So I very much so forgot to post this. Uh-oh. Or maybe I did post it? I don't see it in my save to do later one. Did I post anything about like what the party would do in terms of like killing a noble?
No.
No, you didn't say anything.
For sure. All right. Well, I won't slow down the session to do that. When we're in combat or something, and I have a moment, I will. But I found a meme, and I was like, "Oh, this fits perfectly for what I know Jeremy and Zerky are talking about." But
so that was going to be my next thing. Is he had a whole thing he wanted to do, so I'll let him run that. But Zerky was going to help him with that.
Oh, you're here. I didn't even see you get in, dude. I can't hear you.
I think he's muted. That's probably why we didn't hear him.
Well, I see your green circle going, so he can't be muted, can he?
Well, if he has a separate mute button like I do for mine, like right now, I can turn mine off.
Right, but it's not going green.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, the mic is having problems apparently.
No worries. Take your time. I'm just glad you're here. I was definitely worried about you. Like, you not showing up to a session or saying something. Like, I told them about, you being up at 1 a.m. and worried about the homeless in the ghetto throwing shit at you. And I was just like, I really hope something didn't happen to him. Or at the very least, just had a late night and slept through his alarm.
All
right, well,
Finn is not particularly happy about having taken money from slain families and killing children. He's not particularly happy about that either.
Yeah, players would also have donate hers back to the victims essentially. Set up an orphanage, set up services, something like that. Build a community house for them, something.
No, absolutely.
So why don't we do this? At our little estate, why don't we create an orphanage, and half or whatever you guys want to do, all of it, Finn, Val, and Erky's money can go to that. And then
I'm down with that. But the orphanage should be some place where they'll take the races that they killed, like the half orcs and stuff.
Yeah, not on
I mean, if it's our own land, we really want to decide that essentially. Like, we have land rights. Like, yeah, we're taking the orcs in. Don't like it? Fuck off. We're nobility now.
Right. I'm a duke, bitch.
Not to mention, like, a bunch of half orcs. They tend to be pretty strong. Like, you can pretty easily whip them into a pretty effective militia.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
I mean,
have our own
children army? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, eventually we'll have a little, group of defenders for our place.
Well,
all right, guys, can you hear me now?
Yay! Welcome, man.
Yeah, we can.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. I didn't get home till 5 o'clock this morning. I didn't set an alarm and didn't think I was going to sleep that long, so I apologize.
No apology necessary, my friend.
Absolutely what I thought it was. But yeah, so we were just kind of discussing your trepidation about what happened with the half orcs and such.
Well, yeah, my thought is I'm just as much of a pariah as they are. So if they're out of town, there's really no room for me to be there, which is why, even before you mentioned the dungeon thing, that I would find a nice little bear cave or something outside the city and be a douchebag like I'm supposed to be. Like their attitude makes me more want to lean into being a dickhead drow than anything.
Well, I heard talk of maybe doing more than just giving the money back to the community.
Oh no, I'm not looking to be benevolent. I'm looking to be a fucking cunt. So yeah, people are gonna die.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. He was gonna figure out who is the good guys and who are the bad guys, and we were gonna take them to the railroad station.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found my meme, and I definitely feel like y'all are in that 2% higher. I kill the Baron. It's what my character would do.
All right,
All right, so
I'll be right back.
For sure, take your time. So there's some investigation that's going on first, is what I'm hearing. You're going to spend some time in the town, not just leave the very day after the parade, and try to figure out who the racists are.
Yeah, I figured use the heart sight on the sprite, put that to good use, seeing how that was the whole reason for her being, and just go around and find people that may have ulterior motives beyond the safety of the citizens of the city, and quietly remove those folks in the middle of the night.
Now, that just gives you alignment, correct?
Emotional state and alignment. So, like, my thing is if they're evil, I just assume that their motivations are not aligned with the general good and the order of the city. So that's enough for me to dispose of them. Whether they've done anything evil that day or not, them just being evil is enough motivation for me.
Okay, so I don't know if you were around when I discussed my take on alignment. So just to be clear, and this is how my original DM, back in late 90s, early 2000s, taught it to me, and it always kind of resonated with me. One time we found 100 slaves. Like we did, it was Scourge of the Slave Lords is what we're playing through. So obviously there's slaves that we're freeing. And so we cast Detect Alignment on them because, we thinking the same thing. We want to weed out any potential problems. And a full 1/3 came back as evil because it is a even distribution amongst the general populace of the 9 alignments. Because being evil does not equate to being villainous. The greedy shopkeeper who marks up his prices a little more because he knows he can get away with it, that doesn't care about his community, only cares about filling his pockets, that's an evil person. Probably
I have no problem.
Evil.
I'm no problem killing that person either, though. So, like, that doesn't even bother me. The way I don't look at the lawful as a like, hey, I follow the law. I look at law more as order because that is the antithesis of chaos. Order generally benefits more people than chaos does. So that's the way I kind of look at the whole situation. Like, we have enough laws in real life that really don't benefit anybody. That's enough for me to not be lawful as we would think of it. But yes,
sure,
if you're generally a cunt in common, that's enough for me to kill you.
For sure. So it's not even that day in his whole lifetime, because I first in real life, somebody that's making an extra buck because he know people will pay the price even though it's not really a fair price, like, that's not evil to me. But yeah, it's just, for sure
in the well, I don't know, I guess in my version of D&D, where you're basically simulating the medieval world and just fucking people over is the norm, that just strikes me as fucked up. So, like, I don't know, I just I'm trying to think of a more concise way to describe it, but if you're counter to the common good of like most people and you're literally willing to inflict misery on folks, like look at perfect example, African dictator. They might be working within their rules, but that's enough for me to kill you.
Sure. I feel like African dictator is a little bit of a stretch from what I'm talking about, because we think about African dictators and we do think about indiscriminate killing and kidnappings and things like that.
For me, a merchant that's taking advantage of people, I don't see that necessarily as evil unless they're doing some really unscrupulous shit like slave trading and human trafficking, shit like that. Like if you're making an extra 20% on something because you think you have a captive market, I mean, I guess I'd have to take that on a case by case basis.
But that's what I'm warning you about, is if it pops up as evil, that might be who it is. Now,
but
admittedly,
would that truly
person
be evil though? I mean, that would be more neutral to me, maybe. I don't know. Or chaotic good even.
So to me, the line of good, evil, and neutral is, do you think about others versus do you think only about yourself versus that there's somewhere in the middle? So like you were saying, like people who have no concern about the common good are evil. That doesn't mean they're doing villainous acts, though. It does mean that they're the kind of person that if they could get slaves, they probably would.
So like Dick Cheney, like I'd kill that motherfucker.
Well, Dick Cheney fucking shot a dude and then made the dude apologize for looking like too much of a quail. So
definitely killing that bitch.
A good example is actually psychopaths. Majority of psychopaths aren't serial killers; they're just people that live their lives every day as completely selfish assholes. You wouldn't want to know them, but they don't really do anything wrong other than just being a general asshole.
Yeah, but isn't that enough to intervene though? Like, it's so much better when people are civil to each other. Like, I don't even want to live in a state where people are rude. If you can't manage, please, thank you, and excuse me, I should punish you.
A lot of psychopaths are actually very polite.
Well, see, then I probably get along with them fine.
So the thing about psychopaths, my understanding is, they do enjoy the suffering of others. The difference between them and sociopaths is sociopaths just don't care one way or the other. And so they're kind of the more neutral. And so people who do care see not caring as kind of evil, because, you know, they see someone get hurt and they're like, well, that's not my problem. Whereas, you know, a psychopath sees someone gets hurt and they get a little bit of a hard on from it. So I think, you know, that's a good distinction. But yeah, essentially, and I hate to say this because, you know, psychopathy is like, it's not a choice on people's parts. So I don't like the idea of just villainizing people like that, because there are plenty of people who have psychopathic tendencies who absolutely are just trying to live and get through society and stuff, and just don't understand why they're different. But kind of
figure it out. But a lot of the lower functioning ones don't understand why they're different. Everyone's right. No, man, that's fucking psycho.
Right, but I mean, it's hard. Like, I feel bad for people whose brains are hardwired. Like, that's not a choice on their part. But essentially, think psychopath, but they're choosing it. Those are the evil people in this world.
And I have no problem disposing of those folks, though. Like,
for sure, I just want to make sure you understood.
Putting people to the sword, you're done. I mean, like, I don't need due process so much. I think the legal system would sometimes work a little better without it. If we know you're fucked up, you need to go. And I want to streamline the process as much as possible.
That is fair. And in a D&D world, I can get behind that. So yeah, if you don't have any moral problems with how I explained things, then I don't have any problems with you playing your character that way.
Yeah, like I'm aware that I might make a mistake here and there, but if I'm 98% effective at weeding out assholes, I'm willing to live with the heartache of killing maybe 2% of the sketchy borderline dudes.
Oh, that is so antithetical to our American sense of justice.
Well, it's just
Zerky's down just to shank some bitches.
yeah. Well, that too.
Let's get on
Yeah.
with it, guys. I'd like to
But
start playing. It's
I
already
got
11.
Dibs on their wallet.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and roll some investigation checks to see how well you. Well, no, I'm sorry. You're using your person. Okay, so let's just say over the course of a few days, you are able to identify. So there was the mayor. As I mentioned, he was lawful neutral, but he was definitely, the ringmaster of all of this. Let's see, who else do I have names for? The one baron that you found seems to be true neutral, but your understanding of him is he doesn't give a fuck about anything other than his research. And someone should probably write this down since you will be hanging out here. Your town is called Blasingdell. Blasingdell. All right, so Sir Miles Barrick, he was the mayor. We already killed off Sergeant Grender. Kelgadin Tolm was the male dwarf who owned Tolm's Superior Outfitting and Dry Goods. As one of the bigger names of industry in this town, he does sit on the council, and you would have found out that he is chaotic good, but he has a very strong distaste for orcs and such, so he was on board despite being good. Sister Alonsa was against it. She is the religious leader of the town.
What was her name? Sister what? Lanza?
Alonsa. Alonsa.
Okay.
And then there's one, Cyril Bankdown, which is a great name, as he is the town banker, or she, female half-elf. She is also lawful good, but hates orcs, so was on board with the genocide. Then, in addition to that, we have one Dara Whitewood, who is male with a name like Dara. And he is another, more successful merchant in the area. He is neutral evil, but also you would have determined as part of this. Would you like me to get into what percentage of the commoners were approving of this?
Sure, why not? We can kill commoners too. I'm not going to rule them out.
For sure. There's about
light really
2,000 people in this town. And you would say a good 2/3 of them supported this.
See, I don't want to live here. A bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember the world. That's
No, absolutely. But like
normal.
racial animus is if we're looking at modern sensibilities, is not going to. I mean, we're talking Nazi Germany now.
No, we're talking a normal medieval village is going to hate the other village across the way. That's normal.
But then
Throughout
why
history, that's
welcome
normal.
them in to begin with if you're just going to put them all to the sword? Like, that's the part where I didn't understand why they'd have full orcs living there to begin with. Now we've gone from one extreme to the absolute polar opposite, and we're fucking exterminating them.
Yeah, that's up to the DM to explain that one.
Well, I would put it in that way. Look at American politics. Like, how quickly have things changed in ways that we kind of didn't see.
All right, we should keep politics out of it because there's absolutely no American sensibility that this has ever happened. So come on now.
Yeah,
Go back to medieval Europe when Rhodesia invaded Bulgaria 3,000 years ago and slaughtered everybody 15 times in a row. Come on now.
I would agree that we have definitely not crossed the line into that kind of genocide.
And we're never going to. Like, right now it's vitriol and that's it. And I would see that as perfectly normal in a medieval setting, but nobody's like doing anything close to what they did in modern times anywhere, with the exception of like Rwanda. So like, yeah, the way I look at it, this is the medieval world with magic. And as close as we adhere to those sensibilities, I think that gives us some bounds for how we understand how things are working.
But I think you can see how when the leaders tell the populace this is what's happening and this is why and these others are evil, the general populace is quick to sway, is my sense of this. If you had come in a week ago, it probably been a third of them that kind of were like, I don't know about these orcs.
That's what I was feeling. It's like this is definitely, there's no news source. There's no, the concept of not trusting authority is completely foreign to them. So it probably is. It's 1/3 is yeah, orcs are great. They're good folks mostly. And there's 1/3 who are prejudiced, and there's 1/3 who are just sort of easily swayed.
Exactly. That is 100% where I was going with this.
Yeah,
like, keep in mind, they did discover an actual plot from their militia's commander was working with this evil group that was kidnapping people. They found out he was being derelict in his duties and like ignoring the outlying like farming people who weren't actually in the city proper. And then all of the politicians come out and say, this evil orc did this and all orcs are evil. So that's why you're seeing this kind of like drastic change in the population's opinion.
Yeah. So the thing to do then is to wait just religiously. This Orlanza was against this. We can definitely use her. She's already on our side essentially. We can use her to sway that 1/3 again. Possibly at least, because if you have nobility and you have nobility heroes and you also have the church both saying, yeah, this all orcs bad thing isn't good. Certainly, those who are responsible for this deserve punishment. And as a compromise, we can have the orcs come stay on Valeria's land, for example, where they'll be cared for and watched and
Well, you guys are dukes now. How do you want to manage this town? I am not. I am an outlier getting the fuck out. But like, if you're going to exert influence, you need to decide where you're going to put it.
Valeria's move here would be definitely be to back Sister Alonza, and work on changing the common folks' opinions. The bankers, Miss Bankdown, like she's going to be an obstacle. So we have to rope her in financially, essentially. Like, all right, you don't like the orcs, that's cool. There's a profit to be made here in housing them and feeding them and all that kind of stuff, as well as labor and that kind of stuff. Bring her up, basically tempt her with gold. That should be enough to get most. That should be enough to get most other politicians to shut the hell up.
So it sounds like we're trying to accomplish this peacefully now.
Well, me and
Well, they
Zerky
would like
aren't.
to.
I would prefer
At least
that
for the
some.
commoners, like
Yeah.
killing 2/3 of the town folk off is definitely a big evil energy.
No, I'm not advocating we kill a third of the town. I'm just saying if there are elements in the common folk that are just as bad as the people pulling the strings, they go. And
Yeah.
this is why I don't want to create any moral quandaries for anybody else. I am neutral. I don't even know what Zerky's alignment is. I generally work towards what I consider the common good, if that's like a Robin Hood type approach or how you want to handle it. I'm not going to, I'd rather die trying to kill these cunts than not do anything.
And what makes you feel like that makes you neutral?
Because I want to maintain the balance of an ordered society. Like that part, no matter where I've been in the world, that generally takes precedence over everything else. Like I don't have the honor duel type, hey, I'm not going to kill you because you're injured. I'm not going to kill you because you don't have a weapon. If you need to die, you need to die kind of situation. But generally, I skew more towards helping the most folks.
And just for the record, the Zerky and Rasmus thing is, we're not having this discussion at the bar with the rest of the crew.
Yes.
No.
This is a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, 2 a.m, sneak out, and we walk back in at 4 with mud on our boots.
For sure. I do feel like what you're describing is more chaotic good, but I also do not like pigeonhole.
I get a strong
people.
lawful bet with that. Like order is important. That's very lawful.
Yeah,
So I've always understood lawful versus chaotic.
Yeah, so I normally play lawful neutral. That describes me in real life. Like I will bend rules if I see them helping the most people. Like law is great, but order is more important to me. So even when I'm in Africa, I will do things that are against the law, but still what I consider to be better than what they're doing.
So the reason I say chaotic good is to summarize it in one thing. It is the ends justify the means. Like a chaotic good character will turn themselves into a lich, for example, if it meant being able to continue on some grand quest. Just as an example that I've pulled from 2nd edition. But like I was saying before, I also don't. I like 5th edition that they've explicitly said not to pigeonhole people into their alignments.
Yeah.
Whereas like previous editions, if like you were a lawful good paladin in 2nd edition and you did anything I thought wasn't lawful good, I'm supposed to take your powers away.
And everyone wonders why 2nd edition paladins were such jackasses. It's like, well, because I fuck up once,
Right.
my entire character is fucked. So
Yeah.
So
that makes sense though. If you're getting your powers derived from a higher being, like I'm back into a archfey. If I do something that she doesn't approve of, I should lose my powers. If a paladin of Tyr murder somebody, I imagine Tyr would be rather upset by that and would do something. If you're a thief, a fighter, somebody that's not drawing magical ability from some higher power, I don't see how alignment has anything to do with anything.
And if you step too far out of line in those old editions as a cleric, you absolutely would have your powers taken too. But Paladin's line was like right next to their feet, whereas at least clerics got like a couple of steps. But like I was supposed, like even in the old edition, even if you were a thief or a rogue or something, if you started changing your alignment, I was supposed to penalize you by taking a level away.
Yeah, that's
very
silly.
similar thing going on.
The
issue is too meta because now you have player choices dictating the entire party's options essentially. Oh, we have paladin. Well, we can't do that because we have paladin. Oh, we have barbarians. We can't follow the law because we're a barbarian.
I consider myself
very cumbersome.
I consider myself neutral good in real life. Have I ever done anything evil by D&D standards? Again, not villainous. Lied or been selfish or something like that. Of course.
But that's not evil, though. That's just being self-centered. Like that's I don't know. I see evil. The line for evil is far to one side as opposed to just selfish. selfish. I could see. I know people that are very good and very lawful that are incredibly selfish. Take pretty much anybody that sells anything.
Sure. But again, I definitely feel like I have done things that are not good. I think we all can say that people are multifaceted, and to pigeonhole you into just one thing is not realistic. So anyways, we've gotten on a tangent about alignment, which, as much as I love tangents,
well, we need to make a hit list of the people that are going to go in the middle of the night and end up in the sewer and rat chow. And then we need to figure out who is salvageable and wants to move forward with a more accepting society.
Well, I mean, pretty much everyone who was for it. I don't know how convinced you're going to be able to make them. Generally, racists aren't going to come around just because somebody said, "Hey, that's bad."
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. I guess I'm going to change my ways. So
you have to remember, some of that 1/3 who are just hardline against it, they may have experiences forming their prejudice. Like medieval thinking is very much confirmation bias oriented. It's a lot of experience. The idea of per capita data. What do you mean 100,000 people? That would blow their minds probably. So 1/3 we're just probably not going to convince, but Valeria's aim would be the 1/3 in the middle, to get them to step back from the ledge essentially.
I think we're talking about the NPCs with names, not
okay.
the unnamed masses.
Well, I figure after the first 6 or 7 dudes disappear, that the fear factor will coach people to perform a little bit better in regards to the society as a whole. This is not going to be a if you looked at the description of what I need to do to these people in order to be able to get chunks of them out of their residence, I have a feeling that message will circulate town, and the people that obviously are advocating for or advocated for this going missing may steer people clear.
So let's just assume that you are able to get into the first place undetected and kill the person undetected. What is the plan there? How is this murder going to be connected in the people's minds, or not murder, this killing be connected in the people's minds to the political goings on and the racial thing?
That's just another point actually, real quick. This would very easily blow up in our faces, but see, the half-orcs are getting vengeance upon us. They're killing the voices who are shutting them down. This is the half-orcs doing. I was thinking about assassinations. It can very much go the other way.
Yes, that is a very apt point.
Zodiac notes.
Zerky, what are we doing?
I don't have any problem killing the asshole mayor and the named NPCs that are douche nozzles.
Yeah, thank you.
Zerky, honestly, is more about supporting you than he really has a political opinion. And metagaming above board, Zerky is neutral evil. And he is neutral evil for his own survival. His roleplay thing is to eventually work into neutral good, and that takes the group giving him a home to do. So that's his character arc. But right now, if Zerky thinks it's you or him, he's going to shank you.
And that's totally fine. And that's realistic given the game world. But
exactly.
And that seems more neutral.
Well, I say let's take the mayor out first. And my whole thing was I was going to leave a calling card in the viscera of every dude that died and let people start drawing their own conclusions, whether they want to blame some third party, they find out that it's me, I don't care. But it just doesn't sit well with me that all of this has transpired. I wasn't here for the beginning, so I didn't hear the original backstory until we wrapped up last week. So Like I see
Sorry
myself
about
in the
that.
same boat as all the guys that were put to the sword. Like if you look at a villainous race, I'm like enemy number one. So if they harbor those feelings towards them, they harbor them towards me. And I'm generally, like I said, I err on the side of good more times than not. But like these cunts just need to go.
Yeah, so I want to just remind you that he called you an astral elf.
And
They
that's
don't think you're a
racist in
drow.
itself,
And
motherfucker.
if they knew you were a drow, they would be wanting to put you to the sword too.
See? Like this is just
But they've never seen
Good.
a drow, luckily.
well, this is just good business then. Zerky, Mayor, we take him out first.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. So I don't know, like between my character, my now new boots of Elvenkind, and the fact that I have an invisibility spell, I should be able,
Jesus Christ.
with the Misty Step, Zerky's lockpicking, Zerky's sneaky neats, and all of this other shit, we should be able to get in, kill them in their sleep.
At this point, I'll be at the bar making a commotion.
Perfect.
And I'll be like, you
Angry
want to see the
Barbarian
Great
doing
Warrior?
his thing. Yes. But like, get in, butcher them where they lie, pack them out as meat, dispose of the body, feed them to Edar, and then like no evidence, no nothing to worry about. I could tell him it's the new chicken.
Would you like me to tell you a little bit of mechanical cheating? That
Sure.
as soon as I tell you, I know it's going to get used every session. Is the answer still yes?
Sure.
Okay. So you would know that some amongst you are more perceptive than others. So you could definitely determine based on who can see you and who can't see you in the party how well you hid, and maybe choose to do your roll over again until you got the best possible result.
I'm sorry, as far as what roll for what?
For your stealth.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So
Well,
if
like,
the highest person's perception is 16, you know if you got under 16 because so and so can see you. So I guess I better try again. Can so and so not see me now?
I don't know that I'm as concerned with stealth though, because I have advantage on stealth and I'm fucking invisible and I can jump through walls. Like,
I mean, you still have to. You get advantage.
Yeah. But like, I think I've pretty much stacked the deck where I can get into a person's house that's not expecting to be murdered and murder them successfully.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm throwing that extra one on there so I don't have to do any sort of rolling for this.
Like I've got a gnome thief that can get into fucking anything. Like, and we determined that gnome tossing is an improvised weapon, so I can throw that dude 60 feet.
So yes. Anyways, this is very much so feeling like level 20s going up against a group of orcs, and they're not really being a point in setting any sort of difficulty for this task. So yeah, just describe to me how this goes. How do you kill him? How do you leave the body? What's this calling card that you're leaving? Like, what are people finding the next day?
Well, if Zerky approves, because this is involving his familiar, but I was going to leave a charcoal sketch of Underrat at the crime scene. So if you look at the way they describe Misty Step, you get to take your gear. So I infer that as if I go kill somebody, chop them up, turn them into meat, which is essentially rations, I can take the bulk of that in my pack and get them out. So I was going to start with people that were under 160 pounds because I can only carry 165. Go in there, just my boots, a cloak, and my dagger, and kill them, butcher them, throw them in the pack, leave like a disgusting crime scene behind with a sketch of Underrat. And I figure we work our way down the line from the biggest cunt to the smallest cunt. And by the time we get to 6 or 7, I think opinions will change.
So what does Underrat like in terms of a charcoal sketch, like distinguish it from other rats?
I don't know, but I just thought it would be fun to
Okay. Just
like
a little
urban
bandit
legend
mask.
kind of thing. Yes.
Or
Okay.
a mask kind of thing.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a calling card. Once they see it 3 or 4 times, they'll be like, "Oh shit!"
Right. It's the rat killer.
That's right. And the death by fondue thing for the mayor, I definitely think that's the way he needs to go. We need Adar to cast silence on him because I'm not a big fan of screaming. I don't want to listen to it, but I do want to watch. I'm not some bad Bond villain that's going to put some dude down there to get away and come back after me. I'm going to make sure he's dead.
Oh, seriously. What don't you
be
get? I'm going
extra
to have
loud.
one inept guard, and I'm closing the door. So is that what we're kind of looking at?
That would work fine. I do like that.
Yeah, just a little quick Google search. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's perfect. Like I want that on a cape.
Well, maybe after you leave. I don't know if you, or do you want to flaunt that you're the rat killer? All right. So yes, a corpse automatically becomes an object. So you can definitely chop them up into bits and put them in your backpack and sneak invisibly out again. Do you have 2 uses of invisible?
No, what I was thinking is, well, once I get in and I can see a way out, I have 4 misty steps. So between movement and misty step, I should be able to get far the fuck away from the crime scene after the fact. I mean, I don't know about this city, but most, like where I live in Egypt, your alleys are 6-8 foot wide with nothing. So I could go from rooftop to rooftop to rooftop if I had to, where nobody's going to be able to connect the dots.
I mean, not through natural means, certainly.
Yeah, and again, I'm when I see this, I play more to the drow side than I do from the good guy side. Like this is I don't know. I
Well,
thought it would be
fair.
fun.
It is fun. And all right, so you get in and you get out, and the next day, there's quite a commotion, and people come to you. Let's see. In fact, let's just say Sister Alonza comes and quote wakes you up. And knocking on your manor door, and your servants come and get you, and she's all excitable and in a tizzy because Mayor Barrick has been murdered. Come, adventurers, you must help us solve this murder.
That sounds
All right,
like
well.
a
Erky is
police's
like,
job.
"What?
Well, we are the police now, my friend. We are the lords. This is
I
our
can't-
job now.
I can't believe that happened." Erky hops up, grabs his suit of armor, and is following her out the door.
And she brings you to the crime scene where all of the usual suspects are, because this is a big deal. Except for the Baron, he doesn't give a fuck again. You see your own bloody work, and they ask you, what do you think of all of this?
Okay, so remember, this is Erky. He doesn't know anything about it. He's going to do a real investigation of the scene.
All right, do an investigation check. Is that 16 yours just now, or was that from earlier?
Nope, that's mine.
Well, that rat sure makes you suspicious. Kind of looks like Under Rat.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's thinking to himself, "Oh, good lordy." he mutters something about the gods of vengeance and just desserts. Trying to think how he would act. Give me a second here.
And obviously, I'm not here for any of this, so this is just me listening as a third party. But I have no problem with everybody playing out their alignment or how they want to roll their backstory. Actions have consequences, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, same thing. Zerky isn't there either. Zerky's like, fuck that, I'm going back to bed. But Erky, the good little gnome, is, he recognizes the rat. He can put 2 + 2 together. Is background in the village. So we got the orcs that were all killed.
Mm-hmm. Orcs and half-orcs and goblins and hobgoblins.
Yeah, which he's not unhappy about. Goblins are scum.
Yeah, now they're Fae. I just read that they changed them to Fae in 2024. That seems so fucking dumb.
That's weird.
They did, and yes. But how else do you take them out of the creation myth of created by an evil god and therefore are all evil by default? You have to change that as well. And that's what they did to the Drow, too. The Drow are now...
yeah, but there was always Selder and
remember.
Drow that are lawful good. They're basically fucking paladins. All they do is dance and sing in the moonlight and kill other Drow.
Sure.
But that's been in there since 1989 in the first book.
And I know that there was a good group of orcs as well and some early shit. I don't know any goblins that I can think of. But yeah, that they've always made exceptions to that, broad proclamation. But they didn't want it to be exceptions anymore. They wanted it to be the evil ones are the exceptions. So... but anyways, back on track. What is Zerky doing here?
So
Or
Erky,
I mean.
Erky's going to ponder the scene, act like he's thinking, all these things. He's pointing to one thing, pointing to another thing, connecting dots, looking at this little rat sketch, pointing at mythical fake things in the dust on the floor. And he goes, I'm pretty sure this is vengeance for the poor deeds done in this village. And if not, probably a vengeance for a power struggle. I think the mayor was probably involved with whatever the hell that stupid guard's name in the original scandal. We should clean this office up, move past this and forget it.
But you just said that there's more co-conspirators out there. What do you mean forget it?
Well, I think that's good, though, because that pushes the dialogue towards the recent events, though. And that's kind of the message I want to get into the city. So, I'm totally on board with what he just said.
Right. Yeah. So who asked that, DM?
Let's say it was Tolm, the dwarf.
That's the guy who runs the shop, right?
It is, yes.
He looks at Tom and goes, Tom, I agree. But in my years, when a bad character is killed, sometimes that's the good outcome. I think this village needs to heal. I think this village needs to move forward. I think we need to make your shop better. And we need to... I forgot my god's name. Gosh darn it. My god's light needs to shine. Yes, thank you. Points to the whatever her name is.
Wait, are you saying it's a good thing the mayor was killed?
I'm saying it's a good thing that a bad person was killed. And
are you saying the mayor was a bad person?
He goes through the whole little motion of things again, dots and connections and how he did what he did and goes kind of what it looks like to me.
What do you mean by kind of what he did? What is that? What did who do?
All right, so the above board, what the hell was his name? I can't remember his name.
It's okay. Just describe people.
The guard was the one that had a thing going on with the orcs out of town.
Yes.
In some way, shape, or form, there was support in the town for that. Whether
so you
there
think,
was or wasn't, he's making this part up.
God, so you think the mayor was one of the co-conspirators?
I think he was probably getting a kickback of some sort and or involved in some way. And when the expulsion of everybody happened in town, I think somebody got missed or somebody came back and took out a loose end, which happens to be the mayor.
That makes more sense. I see what you're saying now. But we still have that the killer is still out there. Who could it possibly be? Who else did we miss?
Was that really an astral elf, or was that a dirty drow?
No, I ain't saying that. That would start a problem. Zerky looks and goes, I didn't grow up in this
wasn't
town.
there.
Oh, sorry. Erky goes, I didn't grow up here. I don't know every face and every name. This village has, 2,000 people in it? Plus traders, plus that orc crew that was out of town. I suspect that somebody came back, took care of this loose end, and he points to dust trails and maybe a footprint, and it looks like they made their escape.
I see. So we need an inquisition.
Shakes his head, looks at him,
Inquisitions always go well. I mean,
no, we need to clean up this mess. We need to elect a new mayor. And I have just the dwarf that might be good for it to help put this town right and get ready for our next celebrations.
So yeah, they're on and about an inquisition now, and now they're arguing about that. Sister Alonza's against it. Bankdown is for it. Tulm is for it.
So Erky, in his full-blown brand new suit of armor, drops his lid, casts this enlarge. So as big as this room is, this giant metal suit of armor just enraged and enlarged. And in using his cantrip, and I forgot the name of it, that makes your voice boom. You're not hearing me speak.
thaumaturgy.
Thank you. Do they all shut up?
Whoa, calm down. Don't hurt us.
What is our title? We're earls or whatever. Whatever his duke. As your duke, I have stated what we are doing. He shrinks back down. His visor comes up. Voice goes back to normal. We're going to clean up this mess. We're going to sit down and elect a new mayor. And the city is going to get back on its track. Whatever the hell is dwarf's name. If you'd like to run for mayor, I think I might support you. How do you think about that?
I think that you've misjudged your place in this town's hierarchy. Just so you're aware, your title of Duke, it's an honorific. You don't actually wield any power here.
Does he actually say that to him?
Yeah, he actually says that to you.
Well, I think I know where I'm going night 2.
Is Finn aware that who killed the mayor?
I don't know. Would the conspirators have included Finn?
I think Finn's probably too much of a do-gooder.
What I know?
I think you were part of the plan since you were being the
Yeah.
distraction.
So Erky looks at this dwarf and goes, well, you're definitely not getting elected mayor. And I think I might open myself a general store in town. Turns around and walks out of the office. The next thing Erky's going to do, because now he's pissed me off, is go look at buying a new building downtown to open a general store and put this dwarf out of business.
I'm loving all of this, by the way. Thank you so much.
All right. So let's
First
see.
things first is set up a smithy. I'm going to sell at cost, and I can make things as a gnome artificer armorer at a quarter of the cost. So anything metal, I'm going to undercut him by 75%. And then I'm going to overpay. I have about 1,000 gold left. All the merchants in town to deliver to me and not him.
You can have all my gold too. This is just so much fun now.
You can have the rest of mine.
We are literally going to drive this dwarf out of town.
If he
All right.
isn't evil now, he will be tomorrow.
So here is how much it would cost to make a building per room, and so you can buy one at double the cost. A cramped roomed building would get cost to build 500, cost to buy 1,000. Roomy is 1,002, and vast is 3,000 or 6, with the times required to build being 20, 45, and 125 days. I'm assuming you are looking to buy immediately.
Yeah, I think the medium building was 1,000. Is that what you said?
To build. So to buy under normal circumstances would be 2,000. I'm going to have you roll. We'll go with a D20. If you roll high, there is somebody that is currently selling. If you roll low, nobody is currently selling, and you will have to sweeten the pot to get them to.
Well, I have 840 gold after the magic items left. That's all yours.
I got
Well, he didn't roll very good.
16.
Was it under or 10 or under?
Yeah, it was a 6.
Yeah, it sure was. So to buy, you're going to need to throw in an extra 50%. So 2,500.
Also, keep in mind, if we're holding that dungeon, you can craft there. You just need a small store in town. Like, I have no problem trucking stuff into the city.
That's a good idea. We got the forge and space in the... Yeah, we can buy a small building.
Yeah, you don't need something
just
big.
A storefront. Right. Okay, that's brilliant.
Literally just caravan the stuff into town, undercut this dude, drive him fucking crazy.
Okay, so for 1,250, you managed to convince somebody to sell their shop to you. It's a cramped little shitty shop, but it'll do. And are there any murders over the course of this time, or have we moved into a different phase of fucking with the evil people?
Well, I think we're going to need a few just to get momentum going in the right direction. Well, like, I don't think just killing the mayor is going to get enough to get... Like, I want them to connect the dots between slaughtering a bunch of people and these people disappearing. So I don't think one's going to do it. And then I'll let Zerky come up with a hit list as far as... Because me being an outlier, I'm outside of town. I wasn't there for the original campaign in the city. I'll rely on Zerky's judgment as to who needs to go, but I think we need to get at least 3 or 4 before we get a general sense in the community that there has been some retribution for what was done.
That definitely makes sense. I take it, though, that the dwarf is not number 2 on the list now.
Well, he's getting up there. Like, I'm already not liking this dude, so... I mean, assuming I'm hearing this third party.
Winds up dead.
So Erky will talk to the group about why he's upset with this dwarf and say, look, I want to make a lesson out of this dwarf. We need this town to be ours, as in supporting us and us being a part of this town. For him to tell us that we don't belong there, I'm running this guy out of town. I offered him to be mayor. I was trying to make him powerful to work with us, and he spat in my face. That dwarf sucks. So, no, he doesn't want him killed. He wants to make an example of him.
I think this is even more devious than murdering him, though. Like, this is perfect.
Devious, yes, but definitely less evil.
I still don't even see my actions as evil. I'm writing something that was done horribly wrong. Like, I could stand behind... I would do that in real life. Like, you came into my town in Egypt and put a bunch of people to the sword, you'd be fucking dead.
Fair. Although it's more you went to some other town and I don't know where and just happened to walk in as people were putting other people to the sword.
Yeah, like I
But-
don't care about the backstory of, hey, you accepted him before, you're not accepting him now because one dude decided to get in line with some evil orcs out in the woods. Like that doesn't matter to me whatsoever. So, whoever Zerky's got next on the list, night 2, repeat the process. I have 2 invisibilities. Me and Zerky can both be invisible. I have 4 Misty Steps. I have Thunder Step now, so I can teleport Zerky 60 feet with me now and shatter the fucking room, which I think is hilarious. If
Oh,
we
that would
have
be
to get to that point.
That might be fun as an exit.
Yes. So
Does it shatter when you leave, or is it
Yep.
shatter where you arrive?
it does 3d10 damage when we teleport out to anything within 15-foot radius, I believe.
That is an excellent way to leave.
Yes,
Um,
and it's 90 feet instead of 30, which is even better.
And Zerky also has fog cloud if we need it for more concealment, and he has advantage now on whatchamacallit, stealth.
Okay. Well, another night, another murder, another knock at your door. Who did you kill this time? Again, I'm assuming not Tolm, not the dwarf, since you're doing this economic thing.
No, not the dwarf.
Bank down, Dara Whitewood.
Which one was Bink down?
Bank down was the banker. Dara was the other wealthy merchant.
Inkdown is the one we sold the dwarven weapons to, correct?
No, that is Baron something or another.
Oh, okay,
And he's not been part of this at all.
Okay, that's fine then.
As I mentioned, he is true neutral, and what you picked up from him is he literally only cares about his books. Like he is the guy from the Twilight Zone where he breaks his glasses and he can't read. Like he would be so happy if the world ended and he could just read in a library and be left alone.
And the banker was somebody he picked up on evil that kind of, I guess, financed doing all this to these folks.
So the banker is a banker, and in stereotypical fashion, I made her evil. She is that greedy person I was talking about that is going to get her money no matter what it costs other people personally.
Yeah,
But was she advocating vocally for killing all these people for no reason?
She was, yes.
We kill her second night then if Zerky's on board.
Works for me.
Okay. So she has a very nice estate. Do you want to rob her while you're at it?
Yeah, I was going to say we might pay for this new building we just bought.
Roll me a D1000.
How the hell do I do that?
R/1D1000 or /R.
So /DR.
No, /R space 1D1000. Damn.
How you like that roll?
There you go.
Yeah, you walk away with an extra 918 gold worth of jewelry.
Slam! Nice. That will. So with that, I don't need money from the group to buy the building. So.
Well, you still have the money just because I love the idea so much. That's fucking
just
awesome.
Get a
dude.
bigger building.
There you go. Get out of the slums and get into middle class neighborhoods.
Cramped? Why not go with vast? Let's take it 2 steps up. And
no, that's too much money.
That's a lot of money, actually.
If we have the money, then we can upgrade to that middle building. That's still 2,800 or 2,500.
Yes, 2,500. So twice as much. Versus the next step up is 3 times as much as Roomy.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, Tyson.
I have 1,500 gold between Erky and Zerky, so I'd need 1,000 from you guys to buy the middle building.
Well, you've got 840 from me, so somebody else just needs to chip in 160 and we're done.
You can have my 500.
Okay, that's all we need then.
And Sorry, what was that?
Who
Val?
were taking the 160 from, or was it 160, 140?
No, we got it. Between Ember, Ress, and me, we got enough for it.
Okay.
All right. Well, the next day, again, Sister Alonza comes a knocking. There's been another murder. Val, you want to come along this time? I feel like a paladin would probably,
Val's not interested in lying to anybody, so she's going to say she's busy.
Fair enough. I guess, is it just Erky again?
I need a little. I'm going to take the barbarian with me. So Erky will go rouse to Ember and have a little support with him. He's leaving the two culprits behind.
And the place is all smashed apart. You chopped her up into little pieces again?
Of course.
Okay. Just
And
making
at our
sure.
aider, I told her it's pork or chicken or whatever, and he cooked it.
Blood everywhere. And a rat calling card in the center of it all. And the dwarf, as soon as you come in, and you wanted to just leave it alone. Why are we even bringing these people in on this? They clearly don't know what they're doing.
That's funny. Erky looks the dwarf up and down. And says, sometimes a pot gets stirred and it becomes worse. I wonder what all these people have connections to and what just went down in this village. And who else might have supported it, and gives him an accusatory glare.
Are you suggesting I was working with the orcs?
He looks at the room, the body, points to the calling card, and says, I would say anybody related to these two might be worried. But we'll see what we can figure out. Right now, you're in my way, dwarf.
Oh, well, by all means. And he kind of moves his arms back and forth like, I wish I had my camera on so you could see. And he motions to the room. Go ahead, Mr. Detective. Solve the crime. And he steps back.
So I do my investigation. My goal here is I got to build something to point to somebody else besides our crew. Because at this point, he knows exactly who did what.
So I would say that's a deception roll. I'm not going to actually make you come up with something clever. Unless you can come up with something clever. Then we maybe skip the roll or give you a bonus.
So with what I know of the power players in town, we know the Baron isn't going to be involved. Nobody would believe that. The church isn't going to be involved. Shit, we killed the guard captain. So
you did it. The town did.
Yeah, the town did.
They burnt him alive at the stake.
Yeah, he's dead. Mayor's now gone. The banker's now gone. We could create a chain of events between the banker, the mayor. So that's my goal, is to link a chain of events between the banker, the mayor, the people that are on our list, which there's another 3 or 4 of them. I don't necessarily want to tie it to
Are we tying it to them in a deceptive way? Because they are tied to this. You know, I feel as the DM with all the table talk understood what you were saying there just a moment ago, that it was the determination to kill all the orcs and half orcs. Those are the people that are being targeted. But just so, in case it wasn't clear from my role playing, this dwarf still thinks that it is like they missed somebody in the purge who's now enacting revenge.
And that's perfectly plausible. And that's, I mean, if that's where he wants to connect the dots, let him. As long as they understand that this is because they slaughtered a bunch of people for no reason, I'm fine with wherever they want to point a finger. If it's a non-existent orc and I'm playing that role by coming in at night and cleaning house, I'm totally cool with that.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tie these guys together so they start to fear, but at the same time point the finger left when we're standing to the right. So
they're already there then. That's not even a roll. Like I said, this guy's already like, we missed somebody. You wanted to just call it a day, but clearly they're still on the war path, and we need to figure out who we missed. So he's going back to see. I told you we need an inquisition. We need to just start pulling everybody off of the street. Just question people indeterminately. Like, start cracking skulls together till we figure out who's doing this. And again, the evil people left over are for it. Sister is not.
Yeah, so now how do we talk them out of that whole thing? I was trying to intimidate him last time.
Well, it seems like we've gotten the message across with just 2 killings.
Sorry, Val, I couldn't hear you.
I think I'm bringing a terror on this. Let them do it, and then make them the primary victims of it.
Ooh, Val, that's a good idea. We could take over the Inquisition and Inquisition them.
Did they command me as the commander?
They wanted JP to be the commander, and he said no. So they just picked one of the other people that, Marty. Let's say Marty.
Well, if we still have access to Edar, even though he's not here, he's got Zone of Truth. He could go Zone of Truth all these people and go that route.
Yeah, not 2,000 castings, though. That would take a long time.
Well, we had 7 months for crafting purposes. That's why I kind of came up with this whole idea of cleaning house, because I'm not going to sit around and with my thumb in my ass for 7 months while this crafting's going on. Like, we could have, that's why I was originally going to buy my stuff from a merchant so I could be doing this from day 2 while Urki's crafting, start purging the people that were championing, murdering. How many were murdered? Do we know? As far as the orcs, the half orcs, the goblins, the hobgoblins, is there some type of number?
Yes, just the 160 range.
Okay, so you killed 160 people for absolutely no reason, and as long as the public discourse is tying these murders to that event, I'm completely happy with the outcome.
But they're doing it exactly the way Val was concerned that they would do it. That it's these bad orcs that have come back. And clearly we were just, I don't think public sentiment has gotten to that point yet. But, the distinct possibility of that definitely exists still.
No, absolutely. But you would have to imagine if there was a rogue orc left that wasn't purged, that this would be a just course of action, considering they just murdered 160 people.
Yeah, so that's what we need to do. So Zerky will start the rumor mill. He'll start the 2 a.m. bar hopping, gossiping about,
ooh, I like this.
Why is this orc Robin Hood? We'll make up a name of some sort.
Orkin Hood.
Orkin Hood. Why is Orkin Hood so angry? And why is he killing the banker? What did the banker? Oh my God. Is it because they murdered his kids? See where I'm going with that? Start that little rumor mill running, trying to, yes, it's Orkin Hood, but why is Orkin Hood mad? It's because of the evil. It's because, did the banker kill them because he wanted to rob their money. It was about money. How is the mayor? Did the mayor get a kickback from murdering? Oh my God, it wasn't because they were bad. It's because they wanted their house. That kind of crap. He'll start rolling that at the poker
Excellent.
tables.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Drum roll.
20!
I'm just curious about that one. You don't have any pluses to it, that's why. So yeah, you definitely are very persuasive. And,
That's a natural 20.
I know. I didn't think it was at first because it didn't light up green, and it put the plus on the 2. No, that's just the plus is to indicate advantage. Never mind. Yeah, so you are incredibly persuasive, and that rumor just starts going about like wildfire. Kind of on subject, but off. Is there any specific materials you need for your crafting? Is it going to be a requirement that you be in the big city versus this little mining town on the frontier to be able to do your stuff?
Yeah, he'll have to be at the big city. We can spend a little time here, but he couldn't spend 6 months here.
For sure. That's kind of what I thought, and when it came up, like that's what I wanted to do with the 7-month period. I just needed to check in. So I think JP might have been who said that. If not Jeremy, I definitely one of you two. But as you can see there, that's kind of not an option. But yes, back on topic of this, and night 3, are we killing another person?
Well, I think we've landed the point. If Erky's campaign of steering public discourse is going the right direction, unless we know of other people that were advocating for their own personal gain, we kill 160 people. I'm content with what we've achieved. Like, if there's more people on that list, by all means, we can thin the herd.
There are 2 more, but one of them is the dwarf, which I feel like you were trying to enact a different sort of vengeance upon.
This is, I prefer method B for him, just because this is going to hurt him far more than just killing him. So who's the third then? Who is the other actor in this purge?
Dara Whitewood.
Zerky, we good with this guy?
I think if we've got this ball rolling,
yeah, well, okay, that's good.
I say we leave it at 2. Let this start to die down a little bit. Maybe let's see where this goes with this dwarf. If we can put this dwarf out of business and run him out of town, I think we call it good and save that other guy for a trump card later.
Done.
All right. Well, I imagine it would take some time to run this guy out of business. You're okay spending that
long-term goals are worth pursuing. I mean, if these guys are dukes in this town, it's not like we're not going to be coming back here after doing these campaigns. So, like, this could be a years-long vendetta thing, and I'm all about those.
And
okay.
And Erky can make the weapons and everything in the big town, buy things at a cheaper market in the big town, and ship them back. Start the whole supply chain thing going.
See, that's kind of what I was wondering if somebody was going to suggest. So yes, I would agree. I don't think you actually have to stay in town to get this going. Just for the RP sake, I have intentions here. How long do you stay in town before you head back to the city?
With what everybody wants made and us taking 7 months off, I probably couldn't spend with Erky. I probably couldn't spend more than 3 weeks, maybe a month.
So that dungeon outside of town, did that have a forge in it? The first one you guys did? Can we actually build this into like party fortress, basically, where he has all the resources he needs? Because
The problem is the materials for the magic items. I got to be in a big city to get,
okay.
gold lace from a spider or whatever,
Gotcha. Okay.
You're also talking about using your downtime for Urki to make these things that you're undercutting, selling, right? So it's not like you can make mundane items and magic items at the same time.
Right. It takes time. So
there's really no reason for you to leave town if you're using your skills exclusively for this.
For the mundane stuff, correct. That's why I could spend a month dealing with all this stuff, getting the shop bought, making 16 suits of armor, whatever. I haven't done math time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's charging ridiculous margins, all you have to do is undercut him significantly enough where you're breaking even. And I have very little use for gold moving forward, and this seems like a lovely idea. I'm more than happy to put all of my proceeds into just making sure this dude can't do business.
I think
adventuring.
With what you guys gave me already, and with our passive income, that's more than enough to make plate armor, not plate maybe, but scale mail and chain mail and swords at cost. I mean, literally, I could run this guy out of business.
But you're not getting any passive income for 3 months, so just keep that in mind.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. But even then, I mean, a couple hundred gold is a lot of money for making things.
So over the course of the month, this is what happens. They, after a couple of days of no more murders happening, they do decide it's time to have an election. The dwarf, even if you campaign against him, is elected mayor. He is long well established in this town. As much as you are, currently of celebrity status, you are still new. So that said, immediately turns to his Inquisition. And is real Gestapo about it. And so public sentiment does turn against him eventually. By a month's time, he is showing up at your doorstep, begging you to quit what you're doing with the shop.
Can I respond to this one, actually?
Yeah, all yours, Val.
I think you misunderstand your position, Mr. Mayor. There seems to be a miscommunication about your actual authority here.
I'm starting to like this paladin.
Like the look in his face as you use his own words against him. Even though you weren't there when it happened, he still knows what you're doing. Exactly. Come on now. I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
How big is your shop?
You can step down and you can leave town.
That's absurd.
Okay, that's fine. Have a nice day. Close the door.
I love it.
All right. Well, I'd say probably another month goes by, and he does step down and leaves town. He packs up what he's got left, goes off some other place so that he can try to reestablish his life somewhere where he's not getting fucked over.
Can we buy his building cheap?
That's fucking hilarious.
I don't know if we have enough money, but can we buy it like dirt cheap?
He refuses to sell anything to you. Even if you pay him more than the next person. He's that spiteful.
Well, let's see if we can maybe have the priestess buy it through a charitable foundation and trust type thing.
Unless you're authentically donating it all to the church, she's not going to participate in any sort of deceit, essentially.
Big enough to make an orphanage out of?
I mean, he certainly has buildings that you could turn into an orphanage. This guy,
what do you think? Or you want the orphanage on our land?
I think that having the orphanage on our land would be more sensible currently, considering how has public sentiment shifted since this all started going down.
So they don't like Tolm because of the violations of their civil liberties. They are a little more sympathetic. Like, you get the tale of Orkinhood. And Robin Hood is definitely a sympathetic character, despite being a thief. So yeah, people kind of feel the vengeance angle, but they also nothing's happened. They think that person must have gotten their vengeance and moved on. So once the murders stopped, the concern about that kind of stopped as well. But yeah, like I said, they don't like the dwarf because of that. So not only was it availability of Urky, dirt cheap goods, but also he was pissing people off. So if they could avoid giving him business at the same time, two birds,
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just let the building go to whoever buys it then.
Yeah.
All right. That would have been a funny as the last little FUs to buy his building.
I mean, maybe you can get it from the person who bought it. Offer them regular price, and essentially they're like a house flipper.
Maybe
after our next little break, we'll see.
Yeah.
We don't have any money right now.
Guys,
spend all our money on buildings.
Guys, actually need to make a quick errand for my mother. I'll be gone about an hour, probably.
An hour? Okay.
Yeah.
No problem, bud.
Sorry, guys. I will be back when I can.
Do you want to?
All right.
It's 11. Do you want to take our little break?
Do you all want to take a little break?
I need to eat some.
All right, break time it is.
Okay.
We'll see you all in about 10.
And an hour, probably.
Absolutely.
I'll try to be quick, but all right.
No worries. At least 6 of it's taken up by a break here, and the next part is probably going to be more bullshit in town and city. So
okay,
I'm trying to push through. Jeremy here. I pulled up my second edition player's handbook. Neutral evil characters are primarily concerned with themselves and their own advancement. They have no particular objection to working with others, or for that matter, going it on their own. Their only interest is getting ahead. So that's kind of where I've always thought of evil as in D&D is because
yeah,
of
that seems like a
passage.
more benign description of evil than what I envision in my head, but that's good for reference.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
that's
that's
Zerky right now. Exactly. Neutral evil.
for sure. So like I said, it's not villainous. Like they'll work with good people. Like I think depending on what they actually do, a character like Val's character would work with them. That's kind of what I wanted to warn you off of, just going blindly off of what your fairies alignment detection said. And also why my DM just made it so that a full third of the slaves, people who'd been born into slavery their whole lives, had no chance to commit evil acts. They still, third of them were evil. If they'd had the opportunity, they would have.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if you're brought up in that environment where you're a victim every moment of every day, that's going to shape your worldview.
Shit, that's a good point. It probably should have been more than a third.
Yeah, just pure survival instincts at that point, and those generally aren't very benevolent in tough situations.
Yeah, and that's why Zerky is the way he is. I mean, he literally was born as a slave into a drow family.
And he still hasn't killed me. I'm doing quite well, I think.
Well, he thought about it once.
I thought about it for a few weeks. I didn't know if I was going to escape November.
All right. Well, so it's been 2 months. The guy got run out of town. Are you leaving like the day after he leaves?
Maybe 2 days. I don't want to run into him on the road.
For sure. All right. Well, that seemed like a legitimate question. Or do you?
Well, I think we made the point, and hopefully we won't see a repeat of town purges, at least in Blasingdale.
And
Yeah.
What are you doing about your shop?
Well, you can hire a shopkeeper while we're gone.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, exactly. We'll hire a shopkeeper, keep the shop running. The goal isn't necessarily to make any money on it, just to let it keep going. Eventually, down the road, we'll slowly raise prices to still be under market to help the village, but I don't want to shock the village economy right now.
Yeah, there's definitely a need for the market. Now the dwarf's gone, Urki is the sole provider, or very few providers left. So there's definitely a need to continue the shop. And again, I have no grand plans for magic items or anything like that. All the proceeds from adventuring can subsidize the shop to sell at fair prices so the community can flourish.
Okay. So are you going, because that was what I was concerned about, is you were going to abandon the shop and the economy was going to be fucked.
No, yeah, definitely not.
So are you going to raise prices to account for breaking even now that you have to hire 2 people, a smith and a shopkeep?
So that's my question.
Or are you going to have that come out of like the profits from your estate per day? It's only another month until those kick in, so you could kick in some gold for this last month, or you could wait another month until that income source started.
So give me some
like
numbers.
I said, raise prices a little.
So I don't want to raise. So when we leave, the day after we leave, I don't want the prices to double because that will mess with the village. But I wouldn't mind, on a 1 gold piece item that we're charging, say, 3 silver pieces right now. I wouldn't mind once a month raising the price up to 7 silver pieces. So it's still cheaper for the villagers than it used to be, and subsidizing them a little bit to have a good standing and be the great group of adventurers who have a shop and take care of us, that kind of thing. But how much money are we talking? Are we talking 200 gold pieces a month? Or are we talking 10 gold pieces a month?
Yeah. What are wages in this world? Like, what do we say? I mean, like, I always assume, like, since how we have copper and silver, like if a commoner had a gold piece, they were fucking rich. Like, what are we talking about paying a shopkeeper?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So 2 silver pieces for unskilled labor. So that would be our shopkeeper. I mean, it could be as much as 2 per day for skilled labor, but that goes back to my question for you. If Erky can make, and this shop doesn't need 500 longswords, it's going to need more like 500 nails, 6 plowshares, that kind of stuff for a village. If he can make that in the downtime and just have it shipped to stock the store while he's in the big city, when we're shipping other things too, torches and bits and bridles and leather bags and that kind of stuff, can we just do that?
Yeah, my dude's a merchant. He's got a donkey and a cart that's now donated to this, and we can do small caravans and all that kind of stuff to get whatever we need to facilitate. And like I said, I don't expect any proceeds moving forward. Whatever gold, like the amount of money we earn adventuring is ridiculous. So like all we need is another dungeon, and I can subsidize the shop for the next year.
Yeah, same thing with Erky, of course.
Do you know how long it takes to craft a longsword?
I gotta look it up. It's a day per 10 gold piece cost, I think. Let me look it up.
So 5 days for a sword.
A longsword says it's only cost 15. So.
Oh wow, that's cheaper than Beyond. I think Beyond a longsword was like 50.
Am I in the wrong thing?
Yeah, it takes 1 gold piece per 1 day per 10 gold piece.
So I'm getting my thing from Beyond.
Oh, maybe I'm looking at different prices then.
It doesn't say Legacy, which maybe you're looking at the 2014 version. Maybe that cost 50. All right, but if it's 10 gold per day, that makes that very easy. So in order to subsidize the shop, that is how much that you would have to pay per day to keep prices at making no profit, essentially.
So
300 gold a month in order to keep things where we're helping the town. Like, again, we're making 100 gold per gaming session minimum. So we just need to get cracking on the next dungeon. We'll have plenty of cash to support whatever the hell we need to do to keep doing what we need to do.
But
and then after the estate kicks in another month, his share would support the shop for that.
Perfect. That's what I was going to ask. So for Erky's little donation back to the town, he'll just take his money and keep the shop cheap for the villagers. So I'll take
What about for this 1 month until your things kick in? Are you sticking around for another month, or are you going to just pay a 300 gold?
I'll just pay it.
Okay. All right. Then a couple of days after, you hit the road, and you get back to First Landing. And do you want to go check in with the guild real quick?
Probably should.
All right. Well, you check back in, and your gnome taskmaster invites you in, and he goes, "Oh, you're back. I've been gone a while. What took you so long?"
Regale him with our epic defeat and killing of the horribly large and venomous and evil and huge dragon.
Oh, didn't have nothing to do with that town there making you dukes, though, did it? Didn't fill your heads with all sorts of fancy notions about your importance, did it? Wanted to stick around, maybe, and bask in that glory for a while?
Erky pipes up and goes, "Well, I opened a shop." It kind of shrugs.
Good for you, boy. And then he takes his shillelagh and he knocks on a desk, sitting away from his, sits a dresser sitting away from his desk. And one of the drawers pops open as if by magic. And it's stuffed with papers. Like, so stuffed that when the drawer opens, they pop out and, go scattering a little. And you can see that they are honorific titles, Baron, Duke, etc., bearing your taskmaster's name. And he goes, yeah, every town makes every an adventurer a noble. It's no big fucking deal. Do you know how many titles I've got?
So what you're saying is we shouldn't adopt every town we go to?
Let me know. Let me know when a big city like First Landing makes you into a baron. That would be a big deal.
He's kind of a douchey gnome, not jovial at all.
That's how most gnomes are.
He is old, and he is in a position where he constantly has to deal with naive adventurers going out on the first time. So, it's maybe not your group specifically, but other groups have taken the joy away from him over the years. He goes, so you ready for your next task then?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm poor.
No, you aren't.
Well, I just gave all my money to fuck over the dwarf.
I didn't mean poor. You're not ready. You're about to take 7 months to craft.
Yeah. We need time up.
What? The 3 months you took off already wasn't good enough? Becoming lazabouts now that you've made a little bit of money?
Yep, pretty sure Ember wants to go beat up on guys in the gladiatorial ring for a while.
That does sound like fun.
Oh, to be young again. All right. Well, you boys go have your fun. And you, Miss Lady, you make sure that keep them out of too much trouble. All right, well, off you go. Shoo, shoo. All right, I assume you all leave.
If we have to.
I mean, you want to have a tea party?
I was thinking Zerky might just hang out in the office until he's, told point blank to leave. Just kind of park himself on the couch, eat all the biscuits. Just being annoying.
Yeah. What you been working on recently, Zerky?
Who, me? Work?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. But little as I can. These biscuits are great, by the way. Got any more?
He looks at you knowingly, like when a kid has lied to you and you know they're lying to you. Really, a gnome artificer hasn't been working on anything recently.
Well, there was this really cool tattoo. There's another cool tattoo. There's some armor. These really cool capes. Have I seen it? Oh, he pulls out the fleece that he's going to use. Look at this fleece. How awesome it is. Oh, there was a bear cape. He just starts rattling off all the stupid shit he's been making.
He nods knowingly and appreciatively at you, and he gets up from his desk and he goes and he hits one of his walls, and a secret panel opens up. And inside, he's got a terrarium with cyborg lizards. More, more gears and steampunk, but still, nonetheless, cyborg lizards.
Yeah,
check out what I've been working on.
That's awesome.
I've almost gotten it to the point where they don't even need a light for the heat anymore.
He'll geek out over that for a little while and then, wander off and go do his own thing.
All right. So we determined 7 months.
Yeah, I think that's about what we need.
Okay. Everyone's updated your character sheets appropriately, including taking that 5th level.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's
And-
done.
Probably should have asked about the level at the start when there would have been time to do it while we're gabbing. All right, excellent. I know somebody messaged me about their downtime. Tyson, do you remember how gladiating it worked?
I had to do like 3 rolls.
remember
he
there
had
was-
me do. Last time I think I did it for like 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, you did it for so much time, less time.
I could do it for like 3 months this time. I think I did.
So of course it's not just easily Googleable, but I know right where it is in the book in Xanathar's. So, who messaged me? Who was the awesome player?
Zerky did.
Zerky, you are amazing. Oh, perfect. The last time I opened this book, it was on pit fighting, so I don't even have to look for it.
And
Okay.
real quick, everybody add a breathing bubble to your character sheet and a signet ring. Erky made those for you guys as presents.
I take it the breathing bubble is underwater breathing?
Gives you an hour, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
The signet ring doesn't do anything. It's just something cool for the original members, the core group. There's a picture of it in chat.
Scurvy, so at what point in this 7-month break did we level up? Is that like, where are we in the 7 months right now, actually? Is this the beginning of the 7-month break?
So
Plus or minus a couple weeks for the murders?
It is all time at once.
Okay.
It's wherever you need it to be, because I am about to just take Tyson through his entire gladiator thing from all 7 months. So we're just kind of establishing what happened, unless you need time to actually flow for what you're doing.
No. My whole thing was if we hit the level 5 earlier and than that, planting trees, using plant growth, all that bullshit on the little dungeon outside of Blasingdale, and communing with my patron about getting dryads to move in and act as stewards of the land when we're not there.
For sure. So I did want to point out the calendar. And you all have essentially made it exactly a year. So it was about a half a month each way to the first dungeon. So about a month there. It was a month back and forth from the next dungeon there. So, we're looking at 3 months plus the 2 months that you spent actually there, 5 months, plus another 7 months here. So we are looking at exactly a year going by, more or less. So everyone had a birthday as well. Everybody had the annual holidays of your race and nation. It's all there in that calendar if you ever want to look at it, but it's kind of a cliche of dungeon masters making calendars being a bad thing. So feel free not to get that lost in the weeds. Tyson, you are going to make 7 checks, 1 for each month. It is a athletics check, an acrobatics check, and a special constitution check that has a bonus equal to a roll of the character's largest hit die. If you would like, you can replace one of your checks with an attack. Just an attack roll using one of your weapons. So whichever one you've got the least in, I guarantee you your weapon is going to be better.
You want me to do that 7 times?
7 times, yeah. Whew, finally, you did nice. Well, more than nice, like fucking amazing on that last set.
Damn, there's only 3.
Well, your DC for these each is random, so I actually have to see how well you did. And I am going to do them in the Discord just to make it a little bit easier that I can side by side the results and such.
Alright. I believe that's 7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alrighty then. Vision. Nothing. Nothing. One. Sorry, there's a lot of things here. 3. 3 1s, 2 2s, and a 3. E. All right, you made a total of 5,500 gold.
Holy shit! You go, man!
He has the ability to win up to 200 gold per day. Like,
we're gonna have to start betting on you, Ember. That's what Zerky's thinking. He's like, "Fuck, I see a gambling thing going on here."
Well, pit fighting is kind of like compared to some of these other ones. Like gambling, 0 successes, you lose all the money you bet and accrue a debt equal to that amount. 1 success, lose half the money you bet. 2 successes, gain the amount you bet plus half again more. 3 successes, gain double the amount you bet. Versus pit fighting, 0 success, you lose your bouts and earn nothing. 1 success, 50 gold for the day. 2 successes, 100 gold for the day. 3 successes, 200 gold for the day. There's no penalty to failing. There's nothing to be lost, only gained by pit fighting. Whereas almost every other one, like, has.
Well, is there a chance that you could lose your life, though, right? Like, I imagine if we're thinking gladiatorial games, you lose big.
Yeah. Except there aren't. Like.
So this is like boxing matches. It's not necessarily gladiatorial games.
It's pit fighting, which includes boxing, wrestling, and other non-lethal forms of combat in an organized setting with predetermined matches. What? Predetermined matches? Okay, never mind. If you want to introduce competitive fighting in a battle to the death situation, the standard combat rules apply to that sort of activity.
Oh, hey, we got a guy that can grind for cash if we ever get desperate.
I didn't read this part, though. Predetermined matches? Why are we even rolling things, then? Why is it a strength, a dexterity, and a constitution check? That doesn't seem predetermined to me.
This sounds like boxing in Vegas. I mean,
Yeah, I
this
wonder
doesn't
if that's
sound
really-
like gladiatorial combat.
Well, so, like, I kind of, when I see predetermined matches of wrestling, I specifically think, WWF, now WWE, and whatever that other one used to be, WCW. Like, who won in that was based on the popularity of the character and maybe some sort of storyline that was going on. Like, yes, those people are athletes, absolutely. I can see why they had to do, strength checks and dexterity checks and constitution checks in like that real world sense to perform the moves they're performing. But like, again, I don't know. I'm dropping the predetermined part for our games because clearly it's not.
Well, clearly Ember, he's probably one of few Goliaths. I mean, I can't imagine that's a very common race. He's giant kin. He's probably a fan favorite. Everybody loves him, so he makes oodles of cash.
Oh,
He sure
Ember,
does.
remember, isn't level 5 when you can enlarge to like giant or something? Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that shit's not happening in organized sporting, boys. Not that it needs to. Ember's kicking ass on his own anyways.
Yeah, it's just the next time we're in a fight with some bad guys, the thematics of him. Oh, it's gonna be cool.
Oh, yes. An
wonder
actual fight? Yeah.
Does that mean I can throw a gnome 120 feet at large form?
I think that's how the rules were
Probably
looking.
a town of gnomes 120 feet.
I don't think so. I don't think it doubles your range of weapons, but maybe if it says it does. But yeah, did anybody else have downtime activities that they were rolling for?
You're good with what I sent you.
Perfect.
Yeah, just so the group knows, in town, your nighttime stereo technician was off doing things on his own.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
He didn't get thrown in jail, so it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing
worry
that I
about
wanted to do during the downtime was try to find deep hounds and dire badgers and all that good stuff. I don't know what you want to do about die rolls for that. I did use one of my level 5 invocations for beast speak, so I can at will talk to animals now.
So
and I have 2 scrolls.
I would say, and I wouldn't even make you use your scrolls. I would say over a 7-month period, where you're just kind of working on this. Do you want them to know what's going on with the dungeon?
Oh, yeah. I talked to Zerky about it, but it's that I have no problem sharing with the group and owning
Perfect.
up to all that shit. So that's fine.
All right, so Ranagar, during the tales around the campfire and such that you were telling about the first dungeon you went to, really peaked up when he heard that there were a couple of entrances to the Underdark. So during this 7-month period, it's only a 2-week travel to Oakenhurst, the town, and then from Oakenhurst, it was only a 7-mile walk to the actual dungeon. So he decided to make that his bastion. In 2024 at level 5, characters are supposed to get a bastion, essentially a home base. So that was a big part of why I did what I did with making you all dukes. But like I said, Rasmus instead would prefer to have his dungeon that is connected to the Underdark. You weren't here, but I described the way to and from the dungeon. It's all in the heart of the nation here. You're only 2 weeks travel from the biggest city in the world. So the roads are safe. We're not in any sort of undisputed territory. There are still the random animals and all that kind of stuff. But you being an Underdark native, I would also have no problem with you going into the Underdark and just kind of, the same way if one of the characters was like, I'm going to go live in the woods for 7 months.
Yeah, I don't think like if you're a race that usually is living below grade, dwarves, gnomes, drow, all those folks, like that would be a more natural environment than holding up in a city, at least for the way I'd want to be.
Exactly. So my point of all this is I'm not going to make you roll for any sort of survival or combat or anything like that. You're in your natural environment. So what he's done, though, is he has gotten a bunch of deep hounds. And he has populated the dungeon with a pack of deep hounds, which are essentially trained dire wolves. And did you want to throw in badgers with them as well?
Of course. Like,
okay.
Dude, those are my 2 favorite animals. They both live underground.
Do they get along with each other?
I would imagine so if they're all properly fed and and Zerky's got an army of trained rats too. So
Ooh.
Like everybody's hanging out and being friendly. Everybody's well fed, well taken care of.
How are they being well fed when you're not there?
Well, this is why I wanted to have like other folks in there, like any gnome, dwarf, whatever, as long as everybody's working towards a common goal. Like, I don't mind hiring people, whatever I need to do. Like, again, like I have no use for money. So whatever proceeds need to go into creating my diabolical zoo, that's where all the money can go. But I would imagine over the course of 7 months, there's got to be a way for dire wolves and dire badgers that are used to living underground for finding their own food source, and whatever I need to do to supplement that, more the merrier.
Absolutely. That is actually kind of what my consideration was, is like, wouldn't they just kind of use your dungeon as a den and then go hunting in the Underdark like they normally do?
And that's kind of like my whole thing with the Underdark is I'm not obviously going to be trading with drow unless they're the Seldarin Elistrae followers. If they're the evil drow, they die. But yes, like I wanted to have this set up as a Noah's Ark for all the creatures and critters that I come across that I don't feel like putting to the sword. If they're not aggressive, I don't see the need to kill an animal. But they should be able to feed themselves and act as stewards of the land while we're gone. But anybody who's had any interest can set up a forge, a smithy, whatever you need to do. That dungeon is fucking huge. I looked at both levels of it. Like if drow want to be down there, gnomes want to be down there, whoever, have at it, as long as nobody's working against the common good.
I'm just saying Zerky might have a problem with drow.
Yeah, but like this is where odd bedfellows, but like if you look at the Seldarin drow as like almost a separate species, and obviously it would take months, if not years, for him to get past what he's been through. But like
Lolith worshiper ones. The other.
No, fuck those cunts. Like they all
Gotcha.
die. Yeah,
I'm
they
tracking
all
you.
fucking die. But yeah, like if I'm trading with people in the Underdark, it would only be the good guys. The girls like to sing and dance in the moonlight and kill evil drow by day.
So Zerky, is your character aware of the different types of drow? That there is an offshoot of good.
I would assume he is. I mean, we could
So
roleplay that.
once you found out that Ranagar is of that creed, did that kind of settle your feelings about him?
It certainly would have. So if Ranagar sat down and over a campfire and explained the Loth worshippers and then the other segments and how all that worked, that would probably be like a light bulb for him.
I mean, I don't know
right.
your backstory, but it would be likely the Elestrae's worshippers that would have liberated you from slavery. I mean, that's literally all they do in canon. Like they're out there to kill the evil drow and release the prisoners and all that shit. There's 2,000 years of elven history where one side's been at each other for since the very beginning of the stuff in the 1980s. So yeah, like there are definitely good people, and I would imagine it would take him a long time to warm to those folks. But I mean, if you look at the nature of gnomes and the nature of the Seldern Drow, I mean, they're pretty much living the same existence at this point.
Yeah. Just something in the back of your head. If there's a pack of dire wolves in there, the first litter of puppies you get,
yes,
Zerky
gnome
would like
mounts. That was the whole thing. So
Zerky
races of stone, deep hounds, and dire badgers are all gnome mounts. And the deep hound is actually large, so even humans could ride them if they wanted to. But yes, I'm going to have all kinds of critters down there.
All right, so you do have 2 gardens. And you get to choose. Where is it? Yes, you get to choose what type of garden it is. It can be decorative, it can be food, it can be herb, or it can be poison. And what it is per harvest, you get 10 exquisite floral bouquets worth 5 gold each, or 10 vials of perfume, or 10 candles, also worth 5 each. Food is 100 days worth of rations per harvest. Herb is you get 10 healers kits or 1 potion of healing. Poison, plants that are used to create either 2 vials of antitoxin or 1 vial of basic poison. And as I recall, I don't think I checked the poison, but in terms of like gold point value, they are all 50 gold.
And we're talking about the dungeon outside of town, right? For these gardens?
Yes. So again, you weren't there, but the bottom level was being used to harvest mushrooms. Like it was gardens.
Okay.
So essentially, you're just repurposing these.
Yeah, I would say 1 for food, 1 for herbalism, for healing potions. Obviously, if I want to attract a community of people that want to survive there, that would be the most beneficial. And don't forget, I also have plant growth, so I can double the growth of anything over 365 days by doing an 8-hour ritual.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Look at the 2024 plant growth. It's crazy.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother looking at it. That's not something I think you misinterpreted. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, so like this is where I think like for all of the communities, like spending my downtime going out and helping farmers double their yield every day by casting plant growth for 8 hours, all that kind of stuff. Planting oak trees around the dungeon thing and then doubling their growth. Getting more of the fey creatures there. Like all I want is a deterrent, so when we come back, I'm not walking into a bloodbath and all my kids are dead.
No, for sure. Yeah, so normally you get that per week, but now you're getting double that per week. So just be sure to keep track of your healing potions and or healers kits. I guess really when we come back after a dungeon, I can tell you how long it's been, and you can just decide at that point.
Well, all the surplus food Erky can sell in his shop in town. Like, hopefully, we'll make the town as prosperous as possible. Like, I'm not looking for revenue, so I don't even care about that.
Well, you do have we're talking about 2 towns. So
Yeah.
Blasingdale Blasingdale is where you are, Dukes. Oakenhurst is where your dungeon is.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Just again, contribute proceeds to the general good. Like, this is not a revenue stream for me. If we need to feed gnomes or whoever wants to live there, and they eschew modern society in the cities and the slums, they're welcome there, and they've got plenty of food. And
you find 2 people that are willing to come and be your gardeners.
Perfect.
And you can choose what race and who
Gnomes.
they are and stuff.
Gnomes.
Excellent.
This is the first time I don't care as long as they're gnomes. Like, this is the first time I've ever rolled a character that wasn't a gnome or a dwarf. So, like, they're generally good, nice, jovial, mischievous people. As long as they're not fucking each other over, all are welcome.
Well, if you're looking in the Underdark, it's going to be deep gnomes that you find.
And that's fine. Like, they need to be liberated. And if we come across drow, then I want to start buying the drow sleeping poison stuff. But yes, deep gnomes would be perfect.
Okay, yeah. Then in that 7-month period, you find a couple of deep gnomes. You tell them about this place and your plans, and they can get in on the ground floor of this new community that you're building. And they, some people think you're a crackpot, but these 2 are like, I can get on board with this.
So they can make sure everybody's well fed and there's no fights while I'm gone.
Absolutely. And you just start donating because you are making so much fucking food.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. That spell is
100. Like, and a ration is a day's worth of food. It's not even like 3 rations a day. Like, you're making enough food to feed probably the whole fucking town.
See, everybody's happy.
Well,
no need to fuck each other over. Everyone's well fed.
I am gonna have to, outside of this session, kind of America. Like think about like what's gonna happen when all of these farmers now don't have to work anymore. Like, is it going to be good?
Well, again, I'm not trying to put people out of business, but like there could be some social welfare at this point. Like, nobody's starving in the streets kind of situation. Those farmers weren't giving food to poor people anyway.
I don't know that this town had any homeless. I mean, it's medieval times, so I guess there's probably the town drunkard or something.
Well, if this is medieval times, 90% of the population's like 1 meal away from starving to death. So I imagine there is some public good that can be done.
Magic medieval times.
Yeah, I guess so.
Where there's 1 billion people who can just double the crop growth. Like,
it's a crazy spell.
That's good to know. I'm going to put that in my repertoire of, like, I've got random encounters. We haven't quite gotten to the point where I feel like throwing those out there, but like wandering wizards who do spells for the communities and stuff was definitely on my list. And now I guess wandering druids would also be on there. So
nature clerics, anybody that's archfey or anything like that, anybody that has access to plant growth can now double yields for 365 days. And it's only an 8-hour ritual.
Yeah, I guarantee you there would be at least a couple of druids wandering around the world just offering that to every community they could find. That's fucking awesome. All right, well, that said, did anybody else have any off-time, downtime stuff?
I think Finn is, after doing an insight check on Zerky, he's figured out what's been going on. And being an impressionable 18-year-old who's no longer with his family, I think I'm going to change his alignment to chaotic evil. And
Okay.
with the party, I think. And he's going to go and he's going to find a noble and he's going to break in and rob and see what he can steal. And we'll kill the noble if he can.
Absolutely.
That's a shift.
I just have to break my book out for a second. And again, this is 2nd edition, not 5th, so it might not necessarily apply. But I still just want, just so you know what I think of when someone says chaotic evil. These characters are these characters are the bane of all that is good and organized. Chaotic evil characters are motivated by the desire for personal gain and pleasure. They see absolutely nothing wrong with taking whatever they want by whatever means possible. Let me just jump. At some point it says essentially might makes right. Is kind of their thing. If they can do it, then they should be allowed to do it if they want to. So yeah, awesome. I love this development. This is growth as your character.
Finn is now a Baneite. Wonderful.
My poor little impressionable Finn.
Okay. Let's see. So crime as a downtime.
This is quite hilarious. The drow and the neutral evil thief are going to have to rein in our fine champion of virtue.
Yes, our young and impressionable bard. We're going to have to pull him off the edge.
No
Okay.
chance.
So it costs you 25 gold to spend on gathering information on potential targets before committing the intended crime.
Okay.
I will then give you 4 targets. You can rob either a struggling merchant, a prosperous merchant, a noble, or one of the richest figures in town.
Richest figure in town.
With a
That's
increasing DC for each of these levels, but also an increasing gain. I feel like I might as well just tell you these since this is a player's intended book. So I don't think these numbers should be hidden from you. The DC goes 10, 15, 20, 25, with the payout being 50, 100, 200, and 1,000.
A quick question. Is Finn sharing this information prior to doing this, or is he doing this in without any of us knowing?
He's doing it in the attempt to impress you guys. So he's not going to tell you.
Okay.
so.
Do we have any suspicions this is going on? If so, I'm going to shadow him in case it goes sideways and he doesn't get killed.
Well, if it's only 1,000 gold for the highest, that's not really worth my time. Anyway.
Well, I mean, you could do it. So just so you know,
I think I'll go ahead and perform in the taverns to get money, but I will go ahead and rob and kill the struggling guy.
Okay. So
can we role play this a little bit? So, DM, does Finn notice Zerky going out at 2 a.m. and scouting and doing this exact same thing? So the above board, this is what Zerky spends his downtime doing, is robbing places, but he robs specific places.
So, did you, the roles that you gave me, are you doing the exact same thing?
Literally what you just read is what I already did.
Okay. So
I did the DC 15 one, the 200 gold piece one, I think is it.
For sure. You went with a prosperous merchant. So I feel like since you're doing the same thing, talking to the same people, maybe even getting the same target here and there. Let's roll for it though. Go ahead and roll a D.
I'm just going to do the tavern thing, the singing and the dancing thing, but I do want to rob and kill the struggling merchant.
Right. So You're
Okay.
doing it once. And like I said, Zerky at the same time that you're doing it is doing the same thing. So I feel like there's a possibility in that week that you might kind of catch each other, you know?
Some
I was going to
overlap
say,
on
if you're
target
doing it,
selection.
yeah, if you're doing it the whole time, then at some point you definitely would have run into each other. But that's why I'm making Zerky roll for it, because he wants to know you're doing this, and I feel like you don't
Right.
want him to know.
Right.
So roll a
I can do a
d20,
deception
and
check,
it's going to
too.
need to be high, not just higher.
Perception, investigation.
Just a d20.
Nope.
All right. Nope. You do not notice in that 1 week that Finn decides to join your lifestyle. So back to that then, JP. So you need to make 3 DCs of DC 10. The first one is stealth. The second one is thieves' tools. And the third one is a choice of yours: investigation, perception, or deception.
Okay, the first one you said was stealth, right?
Yes. Excellent. Should have gone with the hardest target.
And I don't have thieves' tools.
Well, that's can you?
You'd have to buy those
have
first
sleight
if
of
you
hand.
to get entry, yeah. Well, I
So
imagine
thieves'
like
tools don't
25
cost
gold,
much.
that's nothing.
Besides,
Is that how
Finn
much
wouldn't
they
use
cost?
thieves' tools. He would use like his perception or deception or something, since he would use his. I would think that he would use his bard skills.
Yeah, but you're breaking in somewhere, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but bards are good at breaking in places.
Well, you need thieves' tools.
Right,
to
with
do it,
thieves' tools.
No, I'm talking about swindling the guards into letting him in, that kind of thing.
Right, that's what the persuasion check is for.
Okay.
But eventually, once you get past that, you get to a locked door that doesn't have a guard.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
did that just fine.
Holy
God
crap.
damn it, you really should have gone with the hardest one.
He's just trying to prove himself right now. But yeah, I don't have thieves' tools, so I don't know.
Well,
It's okay.
like easily you
You
could
just-
go pick those up at a shop. You just need to pay 25 gold for them.
Okay.
Exactly. If you're not
No, I'm not.
skilled with them, you don't get to add your +3, I think you're all at now, your proficiency bonus. But it is still just a d20.
So that's not a sleight of hand, it's just a regular D20?
Yeah, it's not sleight of hand.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 successes and 1 failure nets you half of the payout, and it is a successful heist overall.
Sweet.
So you recouped the 25 that you spent gathering information, and you now have yourself a set of thieves' tools, which is not a bad thing for every character to have, honestly. Kind of pushed you into buying that, and now that we're talking about it, maybe the rest of you should, just in case something like this comes up. You never know when you're locked in a door behind everyone else in the group, and you need to be the one to pick the lock.
Yeah, I do have a set because it came with a charlatan background. So if he would have asked me, I would have happily lent them to him, and then I would have followed him to make sure he didn't get killed.
This is like rope. It's one of those things where I kind of feel like everyone should have it.
Now, I successfully killed that guy too?
Oh, if you want to kill him too, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Man, that poor guy, he was struggling, and
Well, he's not anymore. It was nice of me to keep him from struggling anymore. No more struggles for him.
But that's what the talk of the town is. Well, not the whole town, because it's a big city and nobody really gives a fuck. But from that little section, and people were like, "Oh, do you hear about Robbie? Yeah, found him dead. How'd they find him dead, by the way? Throat slit, eyeballs
Yeah, I
plucked
would
out of
pretty
his
much
head.
say, throat slit and 2 darts, one in each eye.
No rat drawing though.
No, I didn't know
Okay.
anything about the rat.
Well, you did that publicly happened. You didn't know it was the party necessarily, but
No, I don't know who this
okay,
rat guy is.
yeah.
But this is Finn. He wants his own acknowledgement.
Yeah, so assuming you're hanging out at a local tavern afterwards, somebody comes in and is like, "Oh man, hear about Robbie? Oh yeah, sucks how he's losing his business." No, they found him dead. Somebody slit his throat and stabbed him in both of his eyeballs.
Finn just grins and pulls his hood down a little bit lower.
All right, well, be sure to take as much gold as you made. Did you need me to look that up, or did you still know that for barding?
I don't remember, honestly.
That is okay. I can look it up
Sorry.
pretty quickly, as I recall. And while I'm looking this up, anybody else doing downtime anythings?
I think everybody's done theirs except for Val. I don't know what her intentions were for the 7 months. She was building an orphanage on her land or whatever.
All right, I think it is 4 gold per day. I'm just double checking.
That's still pretty damn good.
Yep, 4 gold per day.
That was for how many months?
7 months, which are 40 days. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me do math.
Yeah. Now remember, everybody needs to
4,
subtract off their maintenance cost.
6.
It's only 11:20, but I'll add it.
That's pretty fucking good, man. That's a +2 magic item.
All right.
Yeah. Jeremy, I am very much so with you on the amount of gold y'all get.
It's crazy. Dude, I've never been this rich in any campaign, never seen this much. Like, this is different for me. I told you, in 10 years of playing this game, I had 1 magic item, and it was a +1 mace.
Well, again, we had very different first edition
Yes.
experiences.
Yeah, I had a stingy DM. He did a good job, but clearly he was not generous.
Well, so that's the weird thing, is he was playing by the DMG in the player's handbook. But then if you got into the published modules, TSR was not following that. They were doing Monty Hall shit left and right.
Yeah.
So this is very much so in keeping with that. Like, you saw how many just +1 magic items a starting level dungeon had in that day.
Yeah.
No.
But like the weird thing for me though is, like, we just cleared that last dungeon. We found a bunch of cool shit and we never used any of it because everybody's got what they need already. Like, that's the part where the generosity of the dungeon is one thing, but when you compound the fact that we have our own artificer and we can have whatever we want, all we care about is gold at this point, because I can order whatever I want on demand now. That part I have mixed feelings on.
Yeah, and that's just, I mean, we kind of talked about the magic shop versus not magic shop. That's something I feel like I have control over as a DM. Taking away an artificer's like class ability, essentially.
Oh no, I'm not suggesting that. I'm just like, this is just new ground for me. This is something that will take a little getting used to.
Well, and I'm saying myself, like, that now combined with downtime activities paying this much, you don't even have to fucking go to a dungeon.
No, we're rich already.
Finn is 18. Well, technically now 19 at the end of this stint. At some point in the middle of this stint, I would assume yeah, you all could just essentially take like 5 years off All right, so now Finn is 23 instead of 18. He still has like decades of adventuring life ahead of him, but he'll have so much money he can just buy like +3 shit, the highest gear there is.
Anybody want a Vorpal sword? I mean, come on.
Well, there's two things. One, don't forget the daily maintenance cost. So there's a big chunk that's going to come out of all this.
Yeah, but your room at a hotel, if you or an inn, would be what, 10 silver a day, and you're making 4 gold.
Moderate is 2 gold a day. So half of what he made, he lost to, and all of us, just the moderate scale thing. And B, yeah, I built Erky literally to do that. I built him specifically for that, and talked to Scurvy before I did it. So, but the next level of stuff, very rare item off the top of my head, is like 20 grand.
Okay.
So,
well, that's good that it scales up, but like I'm still living in a world where we're level 4 with +2 magic items, and that is very new ground for me. Level 5 now, but still, like it's just going to take some getting used to. That's all. Like I love the group. I love all the characters. I love the fact that shit's going sideways left and right. That's crazy. But yeah, it's just new ground for me.
And for what it's worth, what I'm saying is me too. This feels like too much. I'm not going to stop because the rules is the rules, but it is so generous. And in terms of lifestyle, like, yeah, modest is a good, or comfortable is what you're talking about. You spend modestly for your necessities and enjoy a few luxuries at 2 gold per day. Modest is you support yourself at an average level at 1 gold per day. I think it's silly that they called it modest, but then for comfortable used the description of modest, like literally the word modestly. But you could go down to poor. You spend frugally only for your necessities at 2 silver per day. At squalid, it's the bare necessities, and you might be exposed to unhealthy conditions and opportunistic criminals. If you spend that low, I'm supposed to potentially apply penalties like that. And then there's even worse, which is wretched, which is free. You survive via chance and charity. You're often exposed to natural dangers as a result of sleeping outside. But the point is, if you really wanted to min-max this, 2 silver is like 20 cents.
Nothing. Yeah, it's
like,
but like in canon, though, that would be in line with what you'd pay at a tavern in order to get a room. It would be like 5 silver, like in all the books for the last 45 fucking years. Like, even if you're living at 1 gold per day and you're banking 3, you're still making pretty damn good money.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But yeah, anyways, we're all done. So you go back to the taskmaster, I take it.
Yeah, time to get back to work.
All right, so you knock on his door, and as usually, it seems to magically swing open. And he goes, Dear Palor, boys, I haven't seen you in months. Really decided just to take the easy life and enjoy some of that gold you earned, huh?
Need a vacation every now and then.
If your vacation includes cracking skulls for 7 months.
Yeah.
All right, well, you finally ready to go out on a new adventure?
Hell yeah.
Excellent. Well, we no longer have the one that we were going to send you on next. It's been so long, we had to send somebody else. But we do have something that would be perfect for you, for your level of expertise. Tell me, maybe some of you more scholarly folks, have you ever heard of the ancient ruined city of Tamawachan? Tamawachan? Yeah, Tamawachan.
Nope, but from the sound of it, I think they have pretty good tacos, though.
Erky's heard of it at some point in time.
Excellent, Erky. Tell the group about it then.
He pulls out his notepad that he took during college history class with an 18 history check and goes,
Oh, excellent. So yes, you do know. Few scholars and fortune seekers know exactly where it is, and we're amongst those few. It's secluded, lying beneath the ruins of the city is a hidden shrine said to be dedicated to Zotzilaha, the vampire god of the underworld. Truly, the lure of the treasures here that must be great.
Vampire.
But
Outstanding. We need some undead.
Oh my god.
the ancient city is off on an island to the northeast. So you will need to take a boat.
So we're in a
You'll
harbor
have to-
town now. Are we in the middle of the landmass, or where are we at? Where? Can you link that map you made again, please?
I can find it for sure. So I don't know if the town is directly on the coast, but it is real close.
Okay.
I don't
It wouldn't be
think
bad
was.
to have a boat for ourselves anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. If I have surplus income, we'll get a nice little caravel for the party.
Well, but if the captain suddenly disappears,
Oh God, Finn is doing such a good job. Oh, that's funny.
we don't have to buy anything. Just saying.
That folding boat would cost us $2,000 to make.
What kind of boat?
A magic folding one.
Okay, so no, it absolutely is on the coast. I've been meaning to get a more detailed map because it's all zoomed out as. But let me maybe share my screen real quick.
So on this map, where is the town that we're in now? Just vaguely.
Um,
And where is the island that we're going to?
Okay, so this is first landing. You can see the big word there, and then this tiny dot. So the island is small enough that it is not marked. Like this is a world map, so you're only
Okay.
getting like masses. But it is off here.
Oh,
Where are
that
you
one's-
sharing this at?
He's doing the
My
screen
screen?
share. You got to go to that. All right, one more time, please.
Of course. So this wording here that says
Gotcha.
first landing. So this tiny dot there is what the actual town is. So you can see this is a coastal town. But I was saying the island isn't like, these islands are huge land masses.
Okay.
It's just a little island off to the northeast here.
So like a couple hours travel versus a huge voyage then.
Yeah, it's not a huge voyage, no. I don't think it would be a couple of hours, more like a couple of days.
Okay. Well, while I'm here, I'm going to score some octopus just so I have tentacles aplenty.
Absolutely. You got to have that calamari.
That's right. I love octopuses, but boy, they are tasty too, which makes me feel a little guilty.
Every time I hear octopuses, I think of the Futurama scene, where it's actually octopi.
Yeah, I
and
know,
they're being
but, yeah.
attacked. It's like, actually, both words are correct, and that's where I learned that both words were correct because I always assumed one was wrong. And I will admit, I was an octopi guy. All right, so yeah, y'all are gonna need to find passage on a boat. It is not someplace that anyone normally goes to. So you are going to have to convince a ship's captain to take you out there, almost certainly at a cost.
Do we see a nice big boat anywhere? Or can we inquire about one that might be available for rental?
Yeah, absolutely.
Persuade away, my man.
All right, so tell Finn what he finds out as he's trying to find out about a boat that they could get. The captain or what the boat might look like, etc.
Okay. The boat captain, the first one you go up to, he wants per person 2 silver per nautical mile.
How many nautical miles is it to our destination?
That is a great question. Just looking up how fast boats travel. All right. It is going to be a 150-mile trip. So back and forth, 300 miles. So he wants 600 silver, which equates to 60 gold apiece.
I tell
Somebody
him that
spot me
that
some
is-
cash. I'm out of money.
I tell him that's a very good price, but that, and he takes out his dagger and he begins to flip it. He said, but 40 sounds more reasonable.
All right. Roll an intimidation check. But before you do, let me go ahead and roll my own so you can know what the DC is.
Does anybody have the thaumaturgy skill?
I've got
Or
it.
cantrip? Yep. Fire that off. That doubles your odds, gives you advantage.
Well, that's a good point. So I deepen the voice and then say
Yep.
that to him.
Booming voice.
Did you roll?
I did. I
Oh.
rolled a 10. Well, nice and easy number to beat. That is as oh,
Poor
I'm-
dude
I'm
starts
sorry.
crying.
what? What? And that wasn't even with advantage?
No, that was just the one roll. I forgot advantage. Yeah.
Jesus. You want to roll one more time just in case you get the perfect 20?
Sure.
Okay, still Jeebus. You smell urine, but he agrees.
That's 40 gold pieces per person.
That's right, sir.
That includes meals
Yeah, of course.
and accommodations.
You can stay in my cabin.
Oh, I'm going to stay in your cabin.
Yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
else can stay wherever your best rooms, but I'll take your cabin. But very nice of you. Thank you. And I give him, how much is it for everybody?
Let's say for now that there are 6 of you. If Ryan's not here next week, I am gonna call it.
So how are we going to handle that? We're going to obviously need a cleric going into undead land if he's permanently gone. What do we do at that point?
I mean, I am going to see about recruiting another person if he's permanently gone, and maybe they'll want to play a cleric.
Well, worst case scenario, I'll be more than happy to re-roll because, like, we can't not have a healer. That just doesn't work.
I've got a healer
For
made up
sure.
as well.
Reroll who? What?
Like,
what? Like
you can kill the drow and whatever. Have as long as he has a glorious end, I don't really care. But like,
what?
well, again, dude, like the only reason I picked the warlock is because we had all of our bases covered. If we don't have all of our bases covered, you have to fill that role. We needed somebody that could have all the jack of all trades ability and force damage and devil's sight. That's why I picked him. So I have no problem playing something else, but I don't want to go fight a vampire without a fucking healer and somebody that can turn undead.
No. That's what we have Val for.
With a low wisdom and no revivify, and like we need a cleric like that. Sorry, but like again, you can play it out any way you want, but if that's what it's going to come to, the time for the drow to take a dirt nap.
I don't like that.
Well, I don't either, but like this is basic group dynamics, and that's a role that I'm usually always in anyway. I would have, if we didn't have a cleric, that's what I would have rolled anyway. So,
okay, let's take him with us for now then. That way we can put a pin in this conversation for a moment. Zerky, I know you said you were just back, so just so you know what you missed there, we are talking about what happens if Ryan is not here next week. And I am kind of, if he's not here next week, I think he's gone. I think it's time to move forward with that as the assumption.
Well, he's not even communicating though. That's the bigger issue. Like you haven't even heard from him. So
not just me. I think JP reached out to him. I know Zerky reached out to him. Like we're all reaching out to him, and he's not responding to anybody. Yeah. I've actually been meaning to have my wife block me on Discord so I can see what happens. Like if I still see her, or if it's, or not like see her, but if she's still there in the stuff, because he's never online, and I'm wondering if he decided to ghost us and just block us all, and that's
like I don't even have him on the friends list, so I don't see his status on there. So yeah, I mean, again, like I have no problem doing it. But like the whole idea of going into a campaign against undead without a healer, without a res, and without a turn undead just seems beyond foolish.
Yeah, and then the second piece of that is we lose Val quite a bit. That's kind of why I shifted Erky into this backup tank role. Yeah,
so like at least she communicates that she's not going to be here, but like this is just nothing. But yes,
sure.
That's the whole reason why I took the Warlock to high hit points so I could frontline it if I have to, because we're getting to the point now where Ember's not going to be able to tank a whole room by himself, even with his ridiculous resistance.
So with Val, let's pretend for a second she was a healing cleric. I would definitely just be like, if she's not here, throw her heals down. She'd be doing that anyways. Like that's okay. Kind of what I did with Edar.
But it's still not enough though. It's like, what's her wisdom? Like a 12?
Well, no, like I was saying, I was saying if she was a cleric, so her personal life, I don't think plays a role. I think really what it is she's not a healer.
That's again, like we don't have the tools that we need to do what we need to do. So if that's the case, then I will happily re-roll and I'll put together another character. I've got a bunch of them in Beyond that I can just copy over and do something else if it comes to that. So again, I'm not opposed to doing it. It's not a sensible choice to move forward without a cleric.
So
and I have a cleric already built up too. So
we will do one of two things permanently, and one thing in the meantime. Edar will come along. He's going to essentially be an NPC. You guys have your cleric healer. Please be sure to use him. My feelings about the NPCs. They're in the player's control, not mine. So roll initiative in combat is what I'm saying. Permanently, though, like I said, if Ryan's not coming back, I will recruit somebody else. I will see about pushing them into the healing role.
Well, see, again, I don't push anybody. Like, again, I'm willing to do it. Let somebody play whatever they want, but...
Yes, that's why I phrased it as I will see about. I'm not going to force anybody to play a role that they don't want. If we get a new player who's okay with playing a cleric, I think that solves this without any issue. If we get one who really doesn't want to, though, what we can do is the classic first edition play style. And back then, not everybody did this, but it was very popular. Like Gygax's original group did this. Like there were rules about gaining levels taking months and eventually years of training. Like you had to get the experience, but then you had to go back to town and find a person of the class that was at least one level higher than you. So I don't even know how the fuck that worked at level 20. Like, but what they did is they had multiple characters. So while character A was spending months training, character B would then cycle into the group. And what it is it was, and we've kind of talked about how the scale of XP was different for each class and multi-classing and dual classing. Nobody was the same level in first and second edition. You'd all start at first level, but everyone
your wizard would advance slower than everybody else. Like your thieves and your cleric would be well ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, so it was okay to just kind of switch people in and out because the group wasn't that dynamic anyways.
Well, either way, if you don't want to kill Ranagar off, he can go hang out with his dryad buddies and do something else.
That's exactly what I was getting at, is Ranagar can go take a break and he can be doing things off screen, and you can bring him back when you want and maybe switch him out at a later time when you feel like there is healing elsewhere, and then your other character can be doing stuff off screen. Or maybe we get to the point where we need 8 total people doing stuff, because maybe I'll start throwing insane shit at you all, and you can play 2 characters like Zerky.
Well, like that's the other thing. Like my dude's a merchant. He can go help out with Erky's shop. He can go take care of his animals, do whatever. So there's plenty of backstory stuff for him to go off and do. And
exactly. I don't want to just kill him for the sake of taking him out of the story.
Well, either way, like I'll plug in whatever roles we need at that point. But I definitely want to have a full-time cleric here.
All right. Well, in the meantime, you do. We're taking the cleric with us. So in that case, it is passage for 7 at 40, which is 280. Well, nobody's disputing my math, so I assume everyone agrees, or just nobody.
Well, if it's wrong, I'd have some bigger issue with Cal than.
I mean, 4 times 7 is 28.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing your math. Again, like nobody should have an issue with 280.
I mean,
if you're tight,
I was asking for someone to double check. To be honest, I was just kind of having a brain moment.
Cal, degree. Even if it was wrong, just for the sake of anything, I wouldn't have disputed it. I question my California education. You went to one of the premier schools in the country. I had hoped to God I didn't have to question that one.
As big as some of those professors were, I feel like they kind of just taught one class a semester so that they could call themselves professors.
Yeah, that was my biggest complaint, is I had all graduate students teaching my classes. I went to Purdue, then I went to San Jose State, and then I went to OSU, and I think I might have met 2 professors the whole time. So it was ridiculous. But yes.
That's how it is at Cal too. You didn't meet the professors. They talked to a room of like 600.
600. Yep.
Yeah.
Georgetown was the same way.
Into groups of like 20, and it would be, like you said, a grad student actually teaching.
Yep. It's who you meet in those organizations and institutions than what you actually learn. You build connections, and that's what kind of steers you on your life path.
Absolutely. It absolutely shaped me into the person that I am today. All right, so you guys take your boat, and
did the captain survive the journey?
I don't know.
So far.
It's day 2 Day 2.5 even. And you can almost see the island off on the horizon. When all of a sudden a storm rolls in and the sea gets real bad. And they all go into emergency mode, batten down the hatches and all that stuff. But the sea is too rough for the boat, and it is torn asunder. And no matter where you are, above decks, below decks, in the captain's quarters, you find yourself tossed violently into the ocean. And probably, some of you manage to stay conscious and swim ashore. Maybe even one of you saves somebody else. But you all end up, washed ashore in various sorts and states. And only a few of the sailors survived. Most everyone else is drowned, and you are now shipwrecked on this island.
So are we forced to cast off our armor to be able to swim, or do we still have all of our stuff?
Yeah, whoever had armor, I guess you were the one of the people saved, or maybe just miraculously washed ashore.
So
you have your stuff, though, is the answer.
Okay.
I was going to say, small reminder, everybody has a breathing bubble so they don't drown. And Zerky has a ring of water walking, so he surfed the waves on the way home.
Never fucking mind. None of that happened then. You all sink to the bottom of the ocean floor and just walk your happy asses over. And in fact, since I don't have to make any excuses for why you survived, none of the sailors survived then. That actually makes it a little easier on. So
I'd like to assume that this all happened before we paid the captain.
He wants his money back.
You paid up front. I am sorry.
Well, you have an hour to loot his body.
I was going to say, can I find the captain and get my money back?
Yeah, I guess it sinks to the bottom of the ocean floor, and you take his chest. You take all the good stuff. You probably even make some money. In fact, let's say that you find another 500 gold.
Nice.
He was a fairly successful captain. I mean, he was getting 280 out of just this one trip.
This is funny.
After that last fight with the dragon in the water, I didn't want water problems ever again.
No.
Wow.
You're making it so hard for him to try to fuck us over. That's the funny part. Like, everything is almost like planned ahead. We're like, yeah, he's going to want to fuck us again, so I'm going to fuck him back first.
I'm a planner. I'm a planner.
The opposite, actually. And this is on me. I'm really trying to pull it up, and I have to download it, actually. So I was trying to do this seamlessly. But what I mean is the original version of this module. I know this from memory because it's not in the reprint. You know what? I wanted to talk about the history of this thing real quick. I do wish Val was back already. Hopefully she'll step in. Okay, so this is the hidden shrine of Tamawachan. I'm mispronouncing that like crazy, I'm sure. I'm going to mispronounce a whole bunch of fucking words because it's all based on Aztec and Mayan stuff, mythology and history and shit. This thing was originally printed for the 1979 Origins International Game Expo. It was I mean, competition's the word, but not what I'm looking for. You knew what I mean. But it was for I really want to remember that word, but it was a competition. So you get points, and I am going to be doing this. You get points for like the different actions that you take. And we're not going to be doing that. I am going to be scoring it just because I want at the end of it to be able to say, hey, this is how you guys did. But yeah, it was meant to be all played by just kind of random people coming together at this convention, and whatever team came up with the most points was the winner, which they used to do for D&D, which I think is really cool. And yeah, so I just want to point out that some of the things, it's actually not solving the dungeon the best way or the most thorough way. And what I mean by that is they penalized players who mapped the module, which I've talked about was a standard practice back in the day. So doing the smart thing and making sure you had a map of where you were been and where you were going, they penalized you for. So like I said, it's not necessarily just about playing it the best way possible. They actually wanted to see you take some risks.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I absolutely remember from it back in the day also was that was kind of the plot hook. The just having a bunch of random people. Well, you're all on a boat headed off to this thing, and you get shipwrecked, and only the party washes ashore. So the fact that you like I was serious there when I was like tournament. That was the word I was looking for. It was a tournament. But yeah, so the fact that you made it so I don't have to think about those sailors anymore. Because that's not realistic that a whole group of sailors, none of them wash on shore, only the party does. So yeah, fuck yeah. I am glad
if we don't have to walk on the bottom.
Yeah, no, that's way better for me. So no, you did not fuck things up for me. You made things easier for me, and I thank you for having that foresight. So yeah, you wash up on shore, and you can see the climate is subtropical and very damp. It rains nearly every afternoon. Let's just assume that you do this to start with. After a few hours of searching, it says that you would be able to find an easily defendable glade with an artisan spring, an excellent place to set up camp. But you would see a toppled city off in the distance in the jungle, covered in undergrowth. Some real Indiana Jones shit.
How big is this island across? I mean, we obviously see where we need to go, but what's this 1 mile, 500 yards? What are we talking about for the size of this island?
Probably 6 miles.
Okay. And we're far enough away from the ruins where we don't believe we've been discovered coming ashore, I take it?
I mean, it looks completely abandoned.
Okay.
And your understanding is this is a ruined city that is, nobody really lives at, and that there's a temple dedicated to a vampire god hidden underneath it. Okay. So that's kind of what you're looking for. But yes, it's a pyramid that you can see off in the distance. One of those blocky pyramids, though.
Step pyramid from the Mayans. Yep.
Exactly.
What was the vampire god's name again?
The vampire god's name, and I will go ahead and put this in the thing in addition to trying to pronounce it, Zotzilaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, I'm just going to call him Zotes, and the town or the city, Tamo, from now on. because I am a little bit racist in that I don't want to learn how to speak another language's stuff. Plus, they don't even really exist anymore. I don't know if I owe a dead people respect. Well, not a dead people. That is disrespectful. They obviously still have.
All right, so are we gonna camp for the night, or are we gonna move straight towards the temple, or what do you guys want to do? What time of day is it right now? Is it still light out, or?
Yep, it's still light out. It's midday.
Let's push ahead and kill shit.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
We don't need a long rest or anything. We're already
No. Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah, just I got a hard stop at 1.
Absolutely. So you make your way through the jungle and eventually come into the city, quote unquote city. You discover that the ancient streets now serve as overgrown valleys between the debris of crumbled buildings. The largest of these valleys all lead to the central clearing where a great pyramid stands. On the south side of that clearing is a looks like newly collapsed area, revealing a jagged hole with a debris-covered slide leading down into the darkness.
Check for traps.
Yep, give it a walkthrough.
Can we see the bottom of the slide?
This is from a distance, so you are going to transverse through the city
Let's
while checking for
gonna
traps
sneak.
Delphi, maybe?
and sneaking.
Yeah, I'm going to sneak too.
Yeah, definitely sneak. Put those boots to use, and I've got semi-decent dexterity.
Okay. As you are moving through, as you head toward the Pyramid Temple, you tread across cracked. Oh, perfect. Val is back. So quick catch up, Val, because we do have to have a hard stop in 18 minutes. You're coming at the perfect time, though. The party hired a boat to take them to an island off the northeast of the city. It was about 3 days travel. And on the 2.5 day, a storm wrecked the boat. The party had purchased or had made bubbles of breathing or something of the like. So you were all able to survive the shipwreck without any problems. You just walked on shore along the bottom of the ocean. The sailors, though, all perished as far as you can tell. So you are technically now shipwrecked on this island. The island is a subtropical jungle. This adventure is all Aztec and Mayan themed. So there is a step type pyramid in the center. Kind of messed up and overgrown. But the party goes through the jungle and comes to like the edge of this ruined city. All the buildings are crumbled. The roads are described as valleys leading through these kind of hills and mountains of crumbled buildings, the largest of which lead to the pyramid. And by the pyramid, the party saw that there was a newly fallen area that seemed to slide down into the darkness. So as you head toward the Pyramid Temple, you tread across cracked and overgrown flagstones, stepping over fallen and shattered pillars, pushing aside vines and briars. When you are nearly at the temple, the sound of creatures crashing through the underbrush comes from behind you. You turn around to see people moving through the woods towards the clearing around the pyramid. Then suddenly, before you even have time to react to that, the earth shudders and gapes open beneath your feet, and you are falling amid the roar of collapsing masonry. Dust fills the air, and the sunlight disappears as the darkness swallows you. So, you find yourself in a long, narrow chamber running east to west. In the center of this apartment is a domed shape on the floor. In the east wall is a blank-faced stone door. You know what? Before I start reading this, let me actually put you in the map so you can see the room I am describing.
And Scurvy, just so you know, you don't need to leave the sprite on there. She's going to have to take a hiatus for 2 levels. I'll get her back at level 7. I had to make a change in one of my invocations. So Underrat is on full-time duty now.
For sure. We'll just leave her in this first room then and not worry about it. Let me just make sure I've got all of the correct settings before you all move, because I definitely don't. What's going on? Okay, everyone can see the room and just the room?
Yep.
Excellent. So yeah, you more fall in at the bottom here.
Assuming it was a shortfall?
Not long enough to take any damage.
Okay.
It wasn't a short fall, but you're kind of sliding down, you know. There's no getting back out. So you are in a long, narrow chamber running east to west. In the center of this apartment is a domed shape on the floor, and the east wall is a blank-faced stone door. The west end of the room is blocked by fallen stone and rubble, apparently the result of a collapse. The 2 side walls appear to have several niches cut into them. The shape in the center of the chamber appears to be a small alcove, protected by a half dome with the open end facing toward the door in the east wall. By the way, the map is not north to the top. I believe it's north to the west. This alcove is set in a recessed, shallow tiled well, 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high. The recess contains some sort of display. The display appears to be a diorama depicting a hunting party of Olman warriors in feathers and deer-hide garments in a mountainside scene. Some have pulled down a stag with the aid of a dog, another group is cleaning a small mule deer, and others have cornered a panther with their spears. A scout watches the panther from an outcropping above. He holds a metal staff with a loop in its end. It looks like a shepherd's crook. The 3 niches on both of the northern and southern walls are 5 feet wide and about 3 feet off the floor. Each niche contains a diorama depicting some aspect of tribal life. The 6-inch tall figures in all of the displays appear to be made of stucco, realistically and brightly painted. The scenes portrayed represent fishing, farming, religion, warfare, the creation story, and crafting. A cave-in completely blocks the west end of the chamber. At short intervals, small amounts of rubble and dirt come spilling into the room. Several large stones appear to have wedged themselves tightly, closing the collapse. Additionally, where is this description? Well, I'm not finding any description they want me to give to you, but this room seems hazy. It doesn't seem to be all air down here. And you can tell that whatever you're breathing in probably isn't good for you. You don't feel any immediate effects, though.
And that's a door at the far end of the room?
So there is a door here. This is supposed to be east. This is supposed to be west. This is supposed to be north. And this is supposed to be south. So anytime I'm saying those directions, just try to keep that in mind. Actually, I don't think I can rotate everything with all of the stuff on it.
It's fine. I mean,
not in a few minutes. If this is a full dungeon map, you can do it, but it's going to take it. What I would do, I'd move everything that's not us to the map layer, then select all map, and then rotate it that way. But that's going to be kind of a pain.
That's smart, though.
Yeah.
But in the meantime,
I've been fighting Roll20 for many a year.
In the meantime, just keep in mind it's all topsy-turvy. But I do have a picture.
While it's dangerous, I'd rather not sit around and breathe this shit, so we're probably going to have to bolt for the door at some point before we find out what we're actually inhaling.
That sounds wise.
You guys could, I mean, they only last an hour, but you could throw the breathing bubbles on.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Is that a reusable thing?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so how does that work? Like, what's the recharge on it?
It's an hour per day.
Well, that is definitely a useful.
Now,
but didn't we use it whenever we were at the bottom of the ocean? Was that been more than a day?
Yeah, that's true. If we didn't take a long rest, then I guess it wouldn't work.
I say we risk it and try to make for the door. I'm sure we'll find out exactly what that entails in a minute, but staying here doesn't seem wise.
Well, it doesn't look like I've got a picture in Roll20, so I'm going to give you the picture from the book, which means into Discord you must look. Sorry, guys, my shit froze up. You just checking everywhere for traps?
Mainly, I was checking that door.
So when you go up to look at the door more carefully, the door is carved with a sun symbol and appears to open into the room. There are hinges on this side and scratches on the floor. There is no visible lock or handle on it, although a slight gap stretches across the top of the door. 8 holes seem to have been bored into the door. They are about an inch in diameter, but nothing can be seen in them. The door seems to be fairly thick. The lintel is arched with a keystone at the top. You otherwise do not detect any sort of traps on the door.
Erky will go kind of search these nooks and see if we have any clues as to how to open this thing.
And that is the shepherd, or the scout, I'm sorry. They described as the scout holding a shepherd's. Point out that they thought it important enough to give that little guy his own description and a picture for me to show you.
So does anything on him seem to fit the openings on the door, whether it be the shepherd's thing or whatever else he's got on him?
Not that, I mean, like I said, there's
got to be a keystone or
the door.
Yeah, there's got to be a keystone or something in here that goes with whatever we've got on the door. It's just a matter of finding the pieces we need before we all suffocate.
Is that thing life size?
So just to note, a keystone is the very top stone in the middle of an arch. It's what keeps it all together. Like if you take that one piece out, the whole arch falls apart. So that's why they call it a keystone. It's not literally anything to do with keys. But the figures are small. They are not life-size. Like they're little dioramas that are in those alcoves. I think they're a couple of inches tall.
And this is something the barbarian can't smash his way through, I take it. You said it was quite thick.
It is quite thick, but that did not say that he can't smash his way through. All options are open and on the table.
It's made out of wood or stone, or what is the door made out of?
It is made out of stone. I did describe that there is some gapping on the door as well.
Yeah, at the top, I think you said. Well, obviously, we can all start looking around the room short of finding something. I would imagine if you're holding your breath, I can hold my breath for 4 minutes. So that's about the limit of what we have to work with.
Where are we going to look guy at, by the way? This little statue? Is he in the center or is he in one of the side alcoves?
He's in one of the side alcoves. Let me read which one it was again. Or maybe he was in the center, actually.
And do we see anything in the water in the center diorama thing? You said there's water in there, I think.
Okay, so you're right. It was in the center. It is a half dome open, and it is an alcove set with a little diorama of these people. Then the 6 niches on each side also have little dioramas that depict different aspects of tribal life: fishing, farming, religion, warfare, creation, and crafting. And I'm sorry, what was the other question?
Yeah, just search the center thing, and obviously with 6 of us, we should be able to do it in short order to hit the 6 alcoves in the center.
So I'm going to take a guess here and say that this little guy belongs in the farming alcove.
Yeah, it sounds like a puzzle.
Yeah. So I'm going to check the farming alcove, see if there's a little place for him to be sat.
Okay, you put him down, and nothing happens.
By all the other spots.
You put him in every little niche, and nothing happens.
You shake it. Can you hear anything inside it?
You can't. But you know what? If you're shaking it, I'm going to go ahead and say his little staff falls out of his hand.
So the stick must be the key.
That's what I was thinking earlier, yeah. See if it fits in any of the holes in the door or something.
Yeah.
So there really isn't only the one side would actually fit into any of the holes, just because the 2-pronged one, there's no holes that are close enough to each other. But sticking that little prong into each of the holes doesn't cause anything to happen either. You know what? Give me a perception check on the door. Yeah.
Zerky got a 13 for checking traps, and Erky got a 19.
Oh, I'll set that. 17.
Yeah, nobody is seeing anything on this door.
Well, I think we're getting to the brute force thing if we can't figure out the mechanism.
Ember, with his immense height above the rest of you, must be, looks at that keystone and is like, or maybe it's because he's a dumb barbarian and goes, keystone. But yeah, he lifts it away and it actually doesn't cause the arch to collapse. There's a hidden compartment with a very obvious keyhole.
Let's go in, Ember.
Good job, big guy.
Hell, he's got a higher intelligence than me. He's the smart one. I think he rolled like a 13 or 14 intelligence, so it's good that he figured it out.
Can I
Right.
try and just lockpick it first, trying to figure out where the key is?
Well, I mean, we are at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock or 11 or whatever your time is.
Closing time.
Yeah, and I would keep going, but we had somebody say they had to be right at.
Yeah, I got a boogie.
Plus, this is a pretty good time to stop, right at that door.
Spot.
All right, well,
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.